bomb to score, bringing it up to 6-0. I don't think this game will end quite in a Brazil, but it'll be pretty close. And what a way to start the first game of Rocket League for this tournament. Just such dominant performance out of Zama.
And the timer will hit 0 as Zama takes the sweep, moving on to the next round. Congratulations to them. See more of them later on. One thing I do have for a little bit pause for concern, though, is that it's one thing I mentioned with Osan, but even Zama was doing it too with Sax, is leaving him back in the goal. Both of the teams really seem committed toward the dedicated goalie strategy, which really could come back to bite them in these upcoming rounds as the competition gets more and more narrow. If you just have one team that can rotate effectively and have 3 players always contesting on the field, then that's really going to be a deficit that Zama starts feeling.
Yeah, and you know, you can use the goalie strategy, but in the end, you got to move outside the goal every now and again. Say you're on defense, perfectly fine to stay there. You might want to play a little bit outside. It gives you a little bit more options to defend, but at the same time, it's a good spot to be on defense. However, you're pretty much useless to the rest of your team on the offensive side. That's one less player to contest, one less player to set up shots, one less player to take those shots, and maybe even one less player to get bumps and disruption. Bumps may not be shown in the stat line, but they're just as important as, say, a demo.
Well, that's round 1 in the books. Now it looks like we have a new match being loaded on in. This time we are going to go with Edren versus Kinnick.
Edren last night and the day before, the last 2 days, have been playing some really, really solid fundamental Rocket League. The gunplay was just where it needed to be, and they seemed really comfortable on all of the agents they picked.
We'll actually move on into Valorant, excuse me. Well, yeah, my brain was short-circuiting just a little bit there since you said gunplay, and I was saying, Rocket League? Wait, what are we talking about?
Nah, Rocket League with guns. You get to pop tires now.
Yeah. But no, we're moving on into the Valorant side of things, and Edren, I mean, you were talking about fundamentals in Rocket League, but the Valorant fundamentals seem to be there pretty well. One of those fundamentals being, it's tough to go up against a Jet who can op.
Oh, we were seeing a ton of operators last night off of the Jet, too. We even saw a flanking Jet off of Egrens, too. Just goes to show the comfort pick that Jet tends to be. Pringles Can is going to bring Kinnick to a disadvantage fairly early on here, but JS Games is going to kill Kumi. That's the operator down, and almost $5,000 worth of economy down as well. Pringles Can and Lapsy are going to find 2, but Lapsy goes down himself to JS Games on the Clove. Clove is kind of a dangerous character on the offense here, kind of being able to play a little bit of everything, but in a 3v1, I'm not sure if that's going to matter too much.
Now is the one tasked with bringing it all back, as the line is still held down mid for defense. Not quite aware that Kinnick is off to the corner and might just be deciding to save this one out, seeing as how that spike is dead center in the middle. They can just keep their watch over that and wait for the clock to run out.
Yeah, both players are kind of at a stalemate, but neither do any of them know that nobody is around to be shot. But I did see Clove manage to pick up the op, which is, it could be really dangerous for the offense here. But at the same time, going up against 3 other players, you yourself being only 1, you need to hit 3 shots. And with 3 really fast guns in the Vandal, it's going to be really hard to be able to really make the most of it. And it looks like Clove is just going to hang on to this operator going forward, save a little bit of money in the economy, and prevent the Egrens from getting any more kills or any more money going into the next round.
The one thing that is concerning, though, is that even if that op is stolen, as Kinnick did, when you have a win lead this much, you can very easily just roll it back and purchase another one. That's what Lapsy has done, pass it over to Kumi. And yeah, I mean, Pringles Can still has 9,000 credits, so it's going to be very tough to face Edren on an economy round.
Yeah, especially when you have 2 operators in the loadout, Lapsy and Kumi, flexing the monetary gain, I guess you could say, from their current predicament. The operator goes out middle. I'm mad in kind of a bad spot and just taken out immediately. That's a Sentinel that you don't want to lose. Vise having both a flash and something to cut off the entire enemy team from yours is going to be felt throughout this Kinnick offense.
Kinnick now slowly making their way in toward Garage. A lot of high ground being held by Edren on B Heaven. Moves on in, Kumi repositions with the op. As soon as that cage drops, there could be a very quick elimination that might make Kinnick rotate again.
Yeah, Phoenix, though, right there, does have the flashes available, allowing for his team to pass through, but they also have to be careful not to get flashed themselves, because in my experience, it's very easy to flash your own teammates, and they are not usually very happy when that happens. Kumi still holding the middle there, that long sight line with Operator. Nothing goes out, but the dart does from Sova, and now they're going to be forced to rotate out. Kumi still holding that line, but with Reyna being the only one to hold mid, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Lear does go out, nothing gets found. Molotov out of Phoenix cuts them out of that angle, and it's going to allow for the rest of Kinnick to rotate past. But can Kumi find a kill here? Blades, Dagger Storm does go out, nothing really found, but maybe one from the I don't know person. Really caught in a bad spot here, rotating, but it's not going to be found quite yet.
On a hunt mission here throughout the ropes. And
double collateral!
Collateral with the op. That's really got to burn. And now Kinnick in a very dire situation that ends the round. A full team wipe. And Edren now moving up to 8-1 ahead 7 rounds.
Yeah, we've seen so many collaterals off of that Operator. It has been a completely devastating gun in just about the hands of anyone. You get 2-3 people stacked there, and there's a good chance you're coming out with more than one kill with that sniper rifle in particular. And in the hands of Jet, she's just able to move so fast. It does look like they're going to be downgrading from the Operator to the Vandal for this round, but having a Sova who can track where players are fairly easily with an Operator is definitely nothing to scoff at either.
Lapsy still waiting on this op. We'll see the wall thrown up by the Phoenix.
Ooh,
trying to make their way over. Curveball around the corner. Looks like it got a few teammates as well. So the swing can't continue. Awkward positioning for Harsh, and he pays for it. Cypher eliminated by Kinnick. One trade back as Pringles can is stomped on. We got Kumi, also gets one, traded back, so we're down to 3 apiece, and what could be very promising start for Kinnick.
Yeah, this is what you need. You need the even agents in play, but Cypher isn't going to let that stand for very much longer. Kadena falls to the Vandal on the off angle here. Looks like it is just Breach to hold it pretty much by himself as Vise is looking to rotate around and over to B, which is very little defense on it from the Egrens now. That's going to be the best place to put the spike now, but it looks like Sova and Cypher are on to their shenanigans. I'm Mad is going to take out Cypher, though. It is still even. Breach, though, very little health left, and the spike does end up going down. Attackers are gaining the advantage.
It's the best shot Kinnick has had so far this match. As we see a showdown coming through in tower, right in the smoke if he dares walk into it, or as soon as it wears out. There he goes, and nice quick adjustment by I'm Mad. Manages to put Kinnick in favorable position. Really tough now for this lone Sova to take things back or try to retake this point with an op. Looking the wrong way too, and quickly gets eliminated.
And that is the best way to play this if you are on the side of Kinnick. Trying to hide yourself from enemy players, using the smokes perfectly, and then catching the Brimstone out on while he's trying to put down his smokes too. That is not the place that you want to be if you're that player, because when you do try to use your smokes as Brimstone, you can't use any of your other abilities. Your fire button is replaced with how you put down your smokes. So you pretty much need to be ready for anything, and while Kinnick was ready for that. Looks like a very similar setup to last time. A lot more stacked on B with the Cypher and a lot of his tripwires. Breach going to be rotating around. A lot of his stuff can go through walls, but the Brimstone ult is going to come out, preventing a rotate for just a little bit, but it's not going to find anyone.
We are nearing halftime very quickly. Nice crosshair placement by Kumi allows an easy one shot to the head.
Double smoke does go
Oh,
out.
the
Kumi's
flank.
finding one before he falls. Hunter's Fury comes out too. Doesn't find anything, but it does tag. Recon Bolt, unfortunately, finding its way into a wall instead of probably where they'd want it. The flanking Reyna is definitely an issue they need to solve, and they do. I'm Mad manages to get a kill on Pringles can, but Ice Reaper able to finish out the round with 2 kills of his own.
Last round in the half.
We'll take another look at that as we go into the last round of the half. This is where all the credits will be reset. Both teams will start at even footing yet again.
Yeah, just an unfortunate spot for the Reyna to be in. You want to shoot that way in, but with 2 players left, it's a little bit difficult to use your ability to fade in and fade out. But at the same time, Egrens are now looking to use everything that they've been collecting, and same with Kinnick. Kinnick, I think, has a little bit worse ultimates going into this, but there goes one. I'm Mad, not going to be able to use his ultimate this round. Kumi finding 2, 3 with the knives, able to pick up 4. Clove trying to do something, but Kumi is going to get the kind of an ace, but I wouldn't quite call it an ace because Phoenix did fall to another player of the Egrens.
Still, though, nothing to shake your fist at. Very comfortable lead now built up for Edren. As we take a look at that replay and everything that went down. And just such quick adjustments on the Blade Storm, too, by the Jet. They were really dialed in there. Had the speed and accuracy they needed to use that ultimate to its fullest potential.
And I mean, if there is any time to use it, last round before the swap is definitely the time to go. Egren is 3 rounds away from victory here, and a win in the pistol round could be what they need in order to close it out. We're going to have to see how well the Kinnick defense is in comparison to their offense, because you can't have a pretty bad offense. That's okay. Everybody has those days, but you got to make up for it with your defense. And from the looks of things, Cypher trying to catch someone out on the rotate isn't really going to find anything, though. Cage does go out. Breach trying to use that concussion, doesn't find anything either. And now the Kinnick offense is going to, or Kinnick defense is going to start falling, starting with Kadena and Lapsy. Ooh, caught out using your ability. That's never fun if you're playing Breach there, especially since your stuff goes through walls. That's not what you want to see. Lapsy able to find one on to Harsh Terrier. JS Games also falling to Harsh Reaper. And now it's the lone Vise from I'm Mad to take this round back. Ooh.
Nice placement by Kinnick. They'll take 1 down. Spike's ticking against them, however, not quite sure they have the time to make their way on that long flank, and Jet will catch him out. Now bring it to 11 and 2. About 3 left. About 3 rounds left.
Yeah, but with the ult advantage heavily favoring Egren here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to really push forward. The pistol round is, if you're going to win a round, you got to win the pistol round. And I'd say the only round that maybe comes close to it would be the full buy round 2, because whoever loses that goes all the way back down to pretty much pistol. But from the looks of things, the Egren offense is going to be favoring mostly pistols here, still saving up just a little bit more money in order to maybe pile on the offense going through. The Ghost comes out from Jet, finds one on finds one really fast, finds a second on the Vise. That is 2 operators down, and B is almost completely left alone. A lone Breach stands between Egren and the spike being planted. But is Kumi going to see it? No, the Breach still stands here trying to get the Sova, but doesn't quite hit the shot. Lapsy is just too quick with his crosshair placement.
Trying to get the surprise on him with the buck. He finds it. Now just 1 left for Kinnick. Very close to making their way to match point, and they do. So now Edren just 1 round away from picking up victory in this first round. Just as a quick disclaimer, all of the games leading up to the grand finals in Valorant will be best of 1s, whereas the grand final is the best of 3. So it's a 1 and done here for Edren, and really nice positioning here on the buck. You always got to like it when someone just jumps out there, not checking their angles, and that sort of sneaky positioning is rewarded.
And I believe that Bucky was harvested off of one of the defenders, too, from Kinnick. So that just adds a little bit of salt into the wound there, using your own gun against your team. Kumi is going to try and find a pick here really quick, but no, gets punished by Harsh Terrier on the Cypher. Not able to find an opening pick like they've been throughout the past few rounds, but Pringles Can is going to be picking up the slack just a little bit. Kadena stands, finding one on Lapsy too, keeping the lead in their favor, but Ice Reaper quick to close it out. Cypher able to find another one too. The IDK person trying to find some more kills, and now it is going to be left to a 1v1. The Reyna versus Vise.
One last chance to keep their hopes alive and keep the round going, but Edren, all they have to do is win just this last 1v1. They do have the eye, and good, they got the blind too, but they don't follow through on it. But now they do seem to be aware of where everyone else is, and the Reyna just waiting for I'm Mad to make the peek around the corner. Might have called knife fight, actually.
Maybe, but with only 5 health, any misstep could mean their demise here. But at the same time, Vise is still in a bad spot too. Knives deal a lot of damage in this game, and if you miss them, it can be pretty deadly. And as you just saw there, 75 damage, nothing to scoff at here. One more shot out of oh, that was a little dirty. Using the flash in the knife fight to win the round, but I suppose you do got to play a little dirty if you're going to keep yourself in this game.
I need a weapon.
It's not like Edren doesn't have a whole bunch of rounds to play with before they get the one that they need. It's just kind of more of a test now of just see how long Edren wants to play this match, how long Edren and Kinnick want to keep making it a knife fight, or if they just want to get the W and move on.
And make it a knife fight in a phone booth, especially with Vise too. Being able to cut off your opponents. If they are just going for knives only, which I don't think they are, the Spectre out of the Phoenix is shown otherwise. Kumi with the Vandal looking for a little bit more luck here. Does get quite a bit of damage onto the Breach, but nothing quite to show for it. Ice Reaper with the first kill of the game onto Kadena stands, losing their Phoenix in one of their duelists. Or they're pretty much their only duelist here outside of Clove.
Down one. Edren looking to make their push up through A. A little bit of breach util to try to slow them down. Keeps them at bay for a few seconds. Smoke placed around the corner as well. Oh, almost gets the eye there.
Yeah, that new regenerative shield is definitely coming into play. Kumi getting taken out by Harsh Terrier, who's been on heaven this whole game here, preventing the wraparound. The Cypher able to find a kill with the Bucky once again, and Pringle's able to close it out with the pistol. There are only 2 players left on Kinnick as the spike almost goes down, but Harsh Terrier and I'm Mad both finding one apiece. It is a 2v2, but not for very much longer. Lapsy looking to close that out, and only Cypher left on the point.
Looking like they want to re-hit onto this. They get the ping off the Cypher, know where he is. Fortunately, neither of them has any util to use. Oh, gets a shot with the Bucky, though. That Cypher is so low on health. Just one shot, and that'll do it. Edren gets the win and moves on from Split, continuing their journey on DoDEA Esports Pacific Grand Finals.
Congratulations to Edren for pulling out the win in that round there. You know, I will say, as much as that was pretty one-sided towards the side of Edren, Kinnick did do a pretty good job in that final few rounds there, putting up a little bit more of a fight. And in the end, it could have gone a little bit closer too. There were just a little bit fewer plays from the side of Kinnick, or from the side of Edren, that could be punished as well.
So we've got the first round of Rocket League and the first round of Valorant in the books as we move on, continuing to get closer and closer to that grand final match. This time we'll head it on back to Rocket League as Kubasaki High School looks to go up against Humphreys.
Yeah, I remember you asking me earlier on when you said what are teams to watch out for in this matchup. And I feel like I need to mention Humphreys just a little bit. In almost every one of their matches, it was almost a blowout victory. And they just have such great ball control. I think they only dropped one match to Zama, I believe it was. And actually, no, it wasn't Zama. It was a different team, but the other team looking for a shot on goal, and Sen there to follow it up. Humphreys is going to keep their lead 3-1 in this match.
Off the front post, and the nice communication with the teammate to find the follow-up shot, get the goal, get them a slightly healthier margin lead.
Yeah, with less than a minute left to go, Mr. Mixity from the side of Kubasaki trying to pass it off to the center, but right into Cosmic's line of fire. Jay not able to find it, and with barely any resistance, able to just put it right in the goal.
Yeah, I was just kind of waiting to see how that play would turn out, and the bad touch off from the side from Kubasaki just set it up for him. So we're going to have less than a minute to go. 3 goals up. Mr. Mix not really able to make a play happen off of that. And now huge
Oh
look out
no,
for
a
Cosmic,
Nivajig!
sets it up off the crossbar, won't find the goal.
That could have been detrimental. Putting it right in front of your own goal against a team like Humphreys is not a spot you want to be in. Mr. Mixity looking to keep it on their side of the field, but a Nivajig only being condemned to the goal, it might just prove to be what keeps the Humphreys defense in the game. Kubasaki still playing pretty good defense around the goal. No one's really able to find a way in. Sen not able to get the touch. The other team sending it off to the center with 8 seconds left in the round. I feel like this round is going to go to Humphreys. And with another for the road, just for good measure.
Well, it's nice to see that your powers of observation haven't lied to us. It does seem to be Humphreys is the top dog, one of the ones favored to at least maybe make it toward make it to the grand finals. The next kickoff, other team, nice follow-up, and that'll keep the ball in Humphreys' control as the clock hits 0. Put 1 on the board for the Blackhawks and leave them 2 away from moving on.
Yeah, just 2 more games to go. I feel like Kubasaki didn't play their hardest in this round, and it might just be first round jitters, or I guess second round jitters, because we are actually, I don't know. I think this is either the first or second round, but either way, Humphreys is an incredibly large hill to climb, and we've seen a lot out of Kubasaki in the past 2 days. They play really, really well to their strengths. If they're allowed to get on the offense, if they're not kept on defense for too long, they can play really, really well. But at the same time, Humphreys is kind of the master at, it's 3 of us here, we're going to keep mounting on the pressure, and we're not going to give you even a second to breathe.
Going on into game 2 of this round. We have got Humphreys versus Kubasaki, and it looks like just a new rotation coming on in as Danner Hill joins me to cover everything. Danner, you getting to look at the first game that we saw here in Rocket League. Humphreys was definitely chosen to be the team to watch out for, and it seems like they aren't disappointing us as we go into game 2.
Not at all, and you know, after that game 1 warm-up, I guess for both teams, and going into this bracket, this is kind of like rematch territory because everybody played everybody within the last 2 days on those round robins. So it's kind of a rematch for anybody who did lose to the other team in those other round robins. But right now, it's going to be the other team sending one in for the Humphreys, getting the first one for the first goal in this second game.
Already off to a great start. Nice communication between Sen and other. Finding the first goal just 8 seconds into game 2. Next kickoff. Nice cheat by other. Gains a whole bunch of ground and now setting up for a goal. Double commit by Kubasaki trying to save. Other just hangs on in there, taps it on in, and Humphreys goes up 2.
Great patience out of the other team to just let that play go, have that double commit happen, and then just be able to tap it right on in for a second goal. Still only 18 seconds into this match. Humphreys with a very, very good lead going into this.
Sen, nice shot down to the ground, leaving it for other.
Right off the
Plays
post.
another one on, off the post, doesn't find it, but had that gone in, I mean, they are wanting to go 3 goals up in less than half a minute. Something tells me that this might be one of those games where there might be a little bit of showboating going on. We'll just have to see.
We sure do, and I think Humphrey They probably saw that Zama game. They want to replicate that one. Sen with an amazing save right on the goal line. Able to pinch that one out. Start an offense again. He's going to get bumped by the other. It's going to be right towards mid, maybe. No one's able to follow it up. And Mr. Mixity taking it to the corner. Sen's pinching it to the mid. Other team off the backboard is who's going to be able to follow up. Sen playing slow, leaving it for Cosmic. It's going to be shot on, and it's a great save by Jay. And that one's going to be sent out for just the moment. Kubi hanging on for dear life.
Other nice setup to himself, plays over 2 more, and he'll find himself a hat trick. 3 minutes, 37 seconds left. And we've been talking about sometimes having one person in the goal. This time they had 2, both of them just not with enough booster resources to jump up and get the touch. So Humphreys now seems like even more of a favorite to win game 2. Cosmic off the wall. Plays off it, leaves it for Other for another shot going on in. Other only has 3 goals, but he has double that in shots on goal. 6 shots on goal so far. Try to make it 7, and it will be a save. But as of right now, Humphreys just taking all the initiative. One shot on goal for Kubasaki.
And with 3 goals up and 3 minutes left, they're just looking to buy time here and let it go. But maybe a double tap out of the other team. Still a little wide. Jay trying to send it out. Maybe a save out of Nivi, but just not enough boost to reach it in time. And it's going to roll into that bottom right corner and put Humphreys up by 1 more goal.
Three minutes left, though. This is enough time for a possible comeback. But Other just beats him to it. That was a very lopsided 50. Other just got to that ball way before Kubasaki was able to. And now they'll set it up. Jay, almost sets it up for the other team. Sen almost scoring. See Other play off the wall, go for the follow-up, and doesn't quite get it, but his teammate Sen will sure get it, and we'll go up to 5-0 about halfway through game 2.
5-0, just barely getting close to that halfway mark of the game, basically on track to go 10-0. But regardless, Humphreys in a great position to win this out going into the kickoff. It's going to be a double commit out of Humphreys into this one, and the other team's going to be able to take it into the corner. He's going to lose that battle for the corner, but still got a shot on and win a save out of Mr. Mixity, sending it to the other side of the field. Sen has to race back with only a few pads to his name. The team taking it off his head and sending it to the midfield. Maybe a pass to a teammate. He's going to lead for a demo, and Ivy Jig having to jump and off the post. Cosmic with the follow-up. All 3 players being utilized on that play, and Humphreys going up once again.
Seems like with more than 2 minutes left on the clock, this very well is probably going to be a double-digit game. Seeing as how Humphreys just don't seem to be wanting to take any sort of focus off scoring goals. And now follow up, other team now gets a nice cheat, another shot on goal, and it'll just be to the right, but still the same story, just Kubasaki really struggling to find some sort of clear. They're all really boost starved, actually.
Not much boost on the field, indeed. That one's going to be sent out by Jay. Sen chipping it around 1, trying to get the follow-up touch, and he's going to get it, bottom right corner, and a hat trick. Extending the lead by 1 more.
I mean, even if we saw this was the one player that did have some boost, but they didn't use any of it, just kind of watched the ball go on by as Humphreys scores their 7th, 1 minute 47 seconds left. Sen now ready to set it up again to other team. Another shot, another day at the office, but Jay will get the block. Now we'll see if Kubasaki can mount some sort of counterattack, but nope, Cosmic puts another one on goal. Envy will find the save, but it's just a matter of time at this point.
It is a matter of time. Pressure not letting up for the side of Humphreys, but maybe an opportunity here. Mr. Mixity sending it down only as far as the midfield. The other team chasing this one to the corner, trying to pop it mid for a teammate. No one's going to be there. Jay sending one out. That one's going to float towards net. Sen trying to get it on target, and instead, Cosmic's going to get credit for that one. putting Humphreys up only by one more, putting it 8-0, closing in on the final minute of game 2.
A little over a minute to go before we close things out. Next kickoff, Mr. Mix has an opening and he'll score one on the goal. Nice little fake out there. At least get Kubasaki put one to their name. It could only really be just like that this would go back in Kubasaki's favor. If they were to get a whole bunch of those in rapid succession, then we might be seeing an overtime, but just 1 minute left and 7 goals to make up. Really brutal. Jay puts another one on goal, and other team, nice rotation over to block.
And with that, that's got to be it for game 2. Humphreys with another commanding win over this Kubasaki team. Mr. Mixie trying to send it down. Jay almost receiving that one. It's going to be sent out. Now closing in on 30 seconds left. Cosmic maybe with a pot shot towards net. Going to be high, but a double commit on the goal line. And Sen is going to be able to clean up, putting it to 9-1.
Unfortunate double commit on the save. Miss Reed gets punished. And now it definitely seems like I think they're so close now to double digits. I think they'll go one more time just to make sure they get double digits on the board. Set up, shot, just a bit far back on that rotation for Sen. Has given an opening for Kubasaki. Possibly Jay gets his shot blocked by Other, however. Now Other pass back to mid. Sen gets a pop on it. Moving it around the corner. All three of Humphreys kind of gathered in the same corner, so no one was really waiting for that pass, which means we just might be looking at a 9-1 game. Still, all things being equal, very dominant performance by Humphreys, having 88 of the total shots on goal for that game.
Very dominant indeed, and I mean they just showed it, especially on the offense, just getting shot after shot after shot, making sure to pressure that Kubasaki defense down to basically nothing.
So we've got a 2-0 lead right now for Humphreys. We'll see if they can continue things onward and make it a 3-0 clean sweep, move on to the next round. At least from what we've seen so far in these first 2 matches, a Humphreys-Zama matchup might be in the cards, but still a little bit too early to speculate that, as we haven't seen all the teams and all the talent levels being brought to the field. We still have to wrap up this game, however, and so off we go toward field number 3, what could be the final field for the Blackhawks to get the win. The Blackhawks just seem, when I look at them, to be a team that really is coordinating with each other. Passes are being called out. We're seeing rotations coming in just when they should. I wouldn't be surprised if the Blackhawks actually just kind of play this game casually as well, because you can kind of tell when you're looking at a team that knows each other well enough that they're not letting up in the communication and letting it work for them.
Yeah, and I think that going into this third game, they're just going to be continuing that play style that they have been, with a constant offense and not even letting up on the defense, just making sure to get shot after shot after shot. And I think it's the consistency with those shots that have really helped them get these 2-game leads. And now going into the third game, you can already see Sen in the battle bus getting the first goal.
That'll push the Blackhawks up to a 1-0 lead, only taking 5 seconds to score that one. Now Cosmic looking to play off of a cheat, won't get it. Other places one toward the goal. Not quite. Demo back onto Kubasaki. Fighting midfield for the ball. Cosmic into the back corner. Can he regain control of that? At least steal the 100 boost away. It's still up there, up for grabs. Chance for Kubasaki to find it clear. All it's going to take at this point is just one big clear to possibly mount their comeback.
Potentially an opportunity. Indeed, Kubasaki getting an offense here. Mr. Mixie taking it into the corner. It's going to float towards mid. Jay not able to read this one, and Nibby has to make the save, and they do. And a great save at that. Followed by Cosmic is going to be in. And with a minute gone, 2 goals already in for Humphrey.
2 goals in less than a minute is definitely a very great pace to have. The only thing that's going to really extend this game, should Humphreys win, might not even be the fact that we're going to a game 4 or 5, but just a matter of how many goals they decide to score, adding time to the overall gameplay time. Oh, and no. Nice setup, but the follow-up accuracy just a little bit too little to be desired. They'll go flying off to the left and now try to regroup.
The other team's gonna go for this one quick, getting a shot on net. Mr. Mixity and Aniva getting a combined save there. Mr. Mixity, the entire team of Kubasaki, indeed, having less than 50 boost total. Sending one to the side wall, maybe even getting a follow-up. Jay getting just a pop-up touch. The other team sending it high. Maybe Cosmic can follow up quick. Instead, it's gonna be Mr. Mixity getting the better of that 50. Jay also getting 100 boost. Maybe getting an offense started. It's going to roll right in front of net. Jay misses the shot. Cosmic getting bumped into it and sending it wide. Kubasaki right now fighting to try and cut this lead in half.
With 3 minutes left, Cosmic, with possession of the ball, has a nice dribble going. He's gotten the ball taken away from him by Jay. Nice shot by Kubasaki. Gains a lot of ground back for them, but isn't able to get the shot on goal as Humphreys keeps the ball off to the sides where those shots are much less likely to happen. Bit of a triple commit here in front of the goal. Not quite sure who to go after for it. They finally commit one. Now they move up the field, try the follow-up. No, doesn't get the accuracy though. The ball will stay off to the side for now. Mr. Mix now with the pass back to midfield. We'll see if Jay can do anything with that pass to find a clear.
Oh, what a save out of Mr. Mixity there. Out of the shot from Sen. Maybe taking that touch out, getting it just as far as the corner. Mr. Mixity getting a great 50 there. Other team able to have 100 boost and the shot on net. Jay with a great save. Cosmic missing this one. It's going to bounce in the corner. It might bounce mid, but Sen able to send it out. Also grabbing that corner boost and keeping his both totals up pretty high. It's kind of just back and forth right now, closing in on 1.5 minutes left of this game. Kubasaki looking to try and continue an offense that they had earlier on to try and cut this lead in half once again, but Sen just trying to dribble it on in. It's going to be sent on back, other team cutting that one off. And with 2 goals up, Humphreys looking to close out this series.
Pass back toward midfield. Jay now in a war with Cosmic to gain control over this. Off the wall, Mr. Mix leaves it for Jay. Takes it back for himself. Other team passes back to his goalie, Cosmic. Now ready to move past mid. 1 minute left, and Humphreys not really looking like they're showing too many reasons to doubt them so far, as they've just been really consistently good, and that's what's possibly going to lead them to this Game 3 swipe.
Could be indeed. Sen sending another one floating towards net. Jay, another getting that 50 off. It's going to be sent to the side wall. Cosmic bumping out Jay, turning it into a 3v2 for just the moment. Mr. Mixon making a good touch to make sure to get the ball off the possession of Humphreys, but maybe shot off by Cosmic. It's going to be just wide. 30 seconds left, though. Humphreys in a very comfortable position to win this one out. Pot shot towards net from Jay. It's going to be sent high. Maybe follow up. Nothing. Other team with the little boost he has is going to get a shot on to that right side of the net. And Nivi flipping towards it, but it's going to bounce off the post and out. Kubasaki almost able to catch their lucky stars before Sen sends in a third one, surely closing out this series.
Yeah, doesn't even need actually the follow-up from his teammate, just stood in there himself and got the second play. Nice win on the 50. But are they going to be able to really do anything with it? They don't have time, maybe even just try to get 1 goal. And that'll be it. Humphreys takes that one 3-0, another clean sweep by the leading team, making them move on in the bracket.
Also noticing that Kubasaki didn't have a single shot on net in that final goal, just showing how dominant Humphreys was in that game 3 and ultimately the whole series. But congratulations to Humphreys. You're moving on in the bracket, going on into the next round.
That's 2 Rocket League games down, and we see 2 very clear leaders in their field, Zama and Humphreys. No doubt is going to have to, if they want to win the championship, one will have to meet the other later on in the night. But what I'm seeing from Humphreys leaves me just a little bit more in their favor, that they're going to be the ones overall to take it. They just seem to have a little bit more of that accuracy and better team positioning as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it was perfectly showcased there. They were able to really coordinate with each other with passes and boost and shots, and they were just doing great. And I think that they are really going to be a contender going on to the later half of this bracket.
Well, that's game 2 of Rocket League done. So I would assume that we just go back and forth seesaw style between Rocket League or Valorant or whatever game is open at the time. Yeah. There might be another Rocket League game that is ready for us to cover. And we are loading in a new Valorant game now. We have got Yakota High School versus Kubasaki. So we know Kubasaki is already out in Rocket League since this is single elimination. Yep. But maybe their Valorant squad fares just a little bit better.
Maybe. And for Yakota, we have Mark, Alyssa's dad, Samurai, Mac, Liam, and Fish.
And for Kubasaki, it looks like we've got My Pilsner, That Lunatic, Fire Fiend, and Christmas Eve ready to go on. Oh, Christian's EV. I was thinking a little bit too wholesome here. I was thinking, oh, you know, someone who really likes the spirit of the holiday season. And it's like, no, are they bragging about the, you know, maybe their family made a car purchase? You know, I don't know. Christian's EV.
Maybe, but I was looking at that. You said Christmas. I was like, hold on, am I misreading that? Because sometimes I do have those dyslexic moments where you just read too fast, but it's all right. Going to it though, Yakota versus Kubasaki. Like we said, we did see the Kubasaki Rocket League team get eliminated. So hopefully this Valorant team can keep up the school spirits and go along in this bracket.
Hopefully they can. Otherwise, it'll be an early night for early day and for Kubasaki. They'll be out of it completely. So we're just going to have to see how things play out in this next Valorant match. Remember, these, unlike Rocket League, are a clean one and then done. Mm-hmm. So overall, time for Kubasaki to rally on back, show that they are a force to be reckoned with in the DoDEA Esports Pacific tournament. Yeah,
and I think for all of these teams that going into this, you've really got to make sure that your gameplay is on point. And looking at the bracket, you can see how these games are playing out right now. Going into this round 2.
So we still got Kadena and Zama. Still got to see who wins that match, and they'll go up against Humphreys. And yeah, Zama and Humphreys are in the same side of the bracket, so it won't even be a grand final thing. One of them will have to leave at least by this round or the semifinals.
Yeah, thank you, production, for that bracket. But just being able to see how that Rocket League bracket's playing out right now, we're already seeing that we're in round 2. We already have one result into the semifinals. I mean, I feel like these rounds are just going to go one by one. It's going to be very quick-paced. And also looking at the Valorant side of things, everybody's into this round 2 match, and we're going to be able to see who's going to go on to that semifinal round.
As we look at where we are overall in the bracket, we started out watching Edren get the win against Kinnick, but now they have to go up against a much tougher opponent, Zama, who was seeded 2nd in that match. So we move on to this Valorant game, this time taking place in Ascent. A lot more standard choices here for who you want to bring out. Well, the interesting thing is Kubasaki, they are not bringing a Jet to the equation, and she is usually a sure pick, seeing as how the op can be very prominent here on this stage.
It really can, and I can't say that I, haven't seen a game on Ascent without a Jet. So this will be an interesting game for sure to see how it's going to play out.
Off we go into the second Valorant match of the night. We've got Kubasaki High School going up against Yakota High School. Who will move on and get one step closer to that grand prize, and who will have their day end right now? Off we go to Ascent, which I usually always like to say is kind of the no excuses map. Everyone has played it to death, and Either you are better at this than your opponent, or you aren't.
Indeed. And going into this pistol round, we're really seeing how these teams are going to match up against each other, because I feel like this first round sometimes can really tell, who's going to come out on top early on in the beginning rounds, plus who's going to get that beginning economy and be able to get some of the better guns.
Placing swarm grenade.
Just 10 seconds to go. It seems like most of the players here, or at least half of them, are going to be going for that ghost strategy. Not too many abilities will be brought out. Of course, it all depends on what sort of agent you decide to bring to the party. As we do, if we did have any healers, you'd want to have that ability online, but no healers for this match, so any damage is basically permanent for this pistol round.
Looks like A-Site is going to be the one to go. Sonar is almost going to go out along with the Cypher Cam. Hopefully getting some very useful intel. Using smokes to push up, but that bot from Killjoy able to slow them down just for the moment, and also looks like they're going to recount their decisions and look to rotate.
Good bit of hesitation as Lissestad has taken the sideline through mid. They'll rotate through their zone spawn, however, take that sideline out of the equation and move back on over toward B, which is a lot less guarded, at least in terms of utility. They got a good number of players guarding this. In fact, they'll have to deal with that Jet who rotates on over for the view from mid-market. Samurai also hanging out in the corner. Pilsner lands a nice shock dart onto Alyssa's dad, and the eliminations start piling up from then on out.
Mai able to get the plant off only with 12 seconds left, and that's going to be a kill into Gecko. Looking like Killjoy is going to be the last one alive here. You have to play the super smart. They see Neon not able to get it. Christian Sev able to get the final elimination, and Kubasaki are going to get this first pistol round.
Already a few of them trying to ponder what they want to try to bonus with. One of them was hovering a Vandal, but they decide to move on back, be a bit more judicious with their purchases. Two of them actually still staying on the Ghost, actually, not just one. They've upgraded to a Bulldog. Don't know if Christians will purchase up, as he only has a few seconds left to do so. Interesting, he's still kind of going... Oh, okay, they'll bring out the Bucky, which, again, still very cheap choice. They are in a clear credit-saving mood.
Exactly, and also looking at that quick panel, we saw that Yakota didn't opt to change any sort of guns. They're sticking with the base, and they're also optimizing their abilities. Trying to see what they can do, getting rid of that camera quick. Also, the sonar, but still getting seen through the smokes. This is going to be huge. Pilsner through the smoke gets Jet, and blinds come out, but Mag is not able to get anybody. That should be a sight gain for Kubasaki.
Spike planted.
Whoa, what a shot right around the corner by Christian Says. Almost gets a second shot with the Bucky. Isn't able to, but still had that ready to go. Landed the one click, and seems like that was a really good purchase. Kubasaki could end this one with 4 still alive, meaning it could be a very healthy bonus for them, as only Samurai Mac has the possibility of bringing that back, and he doesn't seem to be too much in a hurry to make it toward the spike.
No, it is not. Whoa, he sees Clove, and he's going to get it. Using the Bucky, he might switch out guns. Nope, sticks with it. Ooh, Cypher, though, seeing him on the run, is going to get that one and secure the win for Kubasaki.
Good work, friends. Keep using my vision to your advantage.
Another look. This just seemed to be a round that ultimately seemed to have been given up, at least by Samurai Mac. I mean, he does hold back there and does get 1 extra frag out of that, which isn't inconsequential, taking it into the bonus round. But unfortunately for him, even if he had continued on kind of his quest there, so much time had already been burned off the timer, then probably wouldn't have been able to make it toward the spike.
Probably not. In a 4v1 situation like that, it is tough to come out on top. And right now, you're seeing everybody kind of scattered around the map right now before this really gets into play. Debating where they're going to go. Just trying to gather intel on where Yakota are located.
Kubasaki still waiting for any sort of overextension by Yakota on defense. They're spread pretty evenly out between both points, so probably expect a rotation coming on in. They're smoked off in B. They'll send the owl drone out through it, see if they can't spot somebody. They get a hit on the back, but they'll also get their location revealed by the recon dart, and it seems like the rotation is going to go on through. As they move on toward A, but that is not what they wanted to happen as they were moving toward that mark. Traded 2, 3 for 1. And it's only going to be Pilsner who puts a stop to his streak.
And it was only Mark on that A site, covering it, able to get 3, but Clove still able to get the plant off. Now left with the 2v2, Samurai Mac gets that one. It's going to be a trade now, Killjoy versus Sova. Killjoy's going to get that one, but now they have to focus on trying to get the defuse. Should have plenty of time. Able to get the first round for Yakota.
Although with this game being a game that often is decided by not just the victory, but the margins of victory, pitching everyone except your very last player to win round 3, even though it is the round that you're expected to win. That's a lot of resources lost, and so even though they won, I doubt they'll be able to go for full rifle purchases across the board. Whereas Kubasaki, who was bonusing, just dropped the guns they already have, so they've got full rifles. And yeah, you see 2 Guardians that Yakota's having to settle for.
Yeah, 2 Guardians and not being able to buy full shields as well all the way through. Once again, Kubasaki keeping it kind of scattered, sending 3 towards A and 2 to B. And this could work out for them as, once again, Mark, that Gecko on the side of Yakota, is the only one on site. With Spike heading his way. Will he be able to get another 3K?
Oh, Alyssa's dad, nice crosshair placement to land on that lunatic. It is traded back and forth, both teams still at 1-1. But Kubasaki, even though that was a nice trade that happened there, objective-wise, they managed to make their way onto site A, get the spike down, take out one of the Yakota Panthers, and now set up some post-plant angles.
You got 2 coming in from heaven. Got Clove on site. Oh, they got the Sova. You have to be careful of the Jet. Ooh, firefight. Jet's gonna win that one. Alyssa's dad now in a 1v2 situation against Clove and Killjoy. Gets the Clove on Spike. But they just have to wait out. They don't know where Killjoy is. And with time ticking down, they have to try and focus
what a lineup,
on it.
too.
Oh, and the grenade is gonna get that one. What a throw.
Yeah. That's how you can tell there's someone who spent a little bit of time in this game. They know their nade lineups like that, and that was just so well played. That's exactly what you want your KJ to do. There's tons of stall potential there in the abilities, and so just using one at a time to make it so that there is no possible time left to just keep forcing them off the spike until there's no time left to defuse, and there you go.
There you go, indeed. Going into round 5 right now. Kubasaki still holding the lead by 2 rounds. And this time, they're going to switch up the tactics. Instead of splitting up, they're going to all stay together and opt towards A site to start off this round. Also having 2 ults to their name, Sova and Killjoy. Potentially. There it is, and there goes that Killjoy ult. Attacker Killjoy, potentially maybe getting a few. Mark not opting to leave.
This point there, that Jet, I'm a little bit worried is right on the line, but doesn't get detained. And now actually has some good position here for a possible retake. And, oh, but I don't think they were aware. I don't think they were aware Kubasaki is also up there in heaven. Pilsner lands it. He's been really good with these shock darts, too. Samurai gets hit with the alarm bot. Goes into... Oh, just wasn't checking anything. And gives his position away. That'll be a tragic end to that round as the Yakota goes down one more. Now 4-1.
Commenting on Pilsner as well, I feel like all the other games that we've seen within the past 2 days, he's always been on that Sova, doing a great job collecting intel and utilizing those shock darts the best he can. But right there, he just didn't check that angle, and Mai able to get the kill on him. Kubasaki starting to run away with it. Like I was saying, after that pistol round, you can kind of tell who's going to be on top, and right now Kubasaki are implementing that.
Waiting for the lineup on the dart. Goes it out into market and gets a few pings off it as well. Kubasaki doesn't seem too rattled by it, however. They recoalesce as a group looking for a possible push. Either they want to go through mid-market toward B or take the full route up to Catwalk through Gardens to A. Still too early to decide what they're fancying.
Some shots do go out. Also some smokes, but that's also might be able to buy them time. Neon gonna rush through. Has to fight this Brim, but doesn't get it. They go down one early. Yakota also gaining a few ults after that last round. Hopefully being able to utilize them and try to stop Kubasaki and get a point back in their favor.
Kubasaki now running out of time that they can solve this out. They'll have to make a decision on where they want to push, or at least what time they want to push. Now down to that crucial 30-second mark.
30 seconds left.
Samurai just still keeping an eye over this mid route, just in case there's a rotation over from Kubasaki, and there just might be. Although, they don't have time to go across. They got to go on to A right now, and already they lose one. They lose two. It's traded back.
10 seconds
They
left.
still have an outside chance of this if they can take out Mark here. He's down to 1 health on the DK. Hunter's Fury as well brings it back in favor for Yakota. And it just seems like they just weren't really sure what to do throughout the vast majority of that round. Waited so long to make a decision.
Yeah, and having to wait so long eliminates so many opportunities that they could have had to try and plant and get onto site. I mean, granted, they did get the plant off, but it was only after everybody else gets eliminated, and with a 3v1, plenty of time to defuse that spike. Cutting the lead down to half, 4-2 right now, going into round 7.
This goes here.
Yakota is just stacked in terms of ultimates, having everything but that Hunter's Fury that they just used. So having a whole lot of stuff to keep Kubasaki at bay, including the lockdown of their own. Pilsner now one of the lurkers off toward B, maybe to get a quick pick, and if he does, that opens up this route to Kubasaki, whereas the main majority of the team is coalescing around A short for a possible move up.
Possible, but it looks like everybody on the side of Kubasaki, except for Sova and Neon, are going to push towards A site. Try to regain over there. No eliminations yet. Very slow into this initial gameplay.
.50 seconds left, and a nice shot by Fish, though, on the handgun. Impressive that he was able to land that. No other gun other than the Sheriff is really going to, well, maybe the Outlaw too, but both of them kind of Wild West names, but guns that demand that you get your shot accurate the first time, or else it just takes so long to reload that you're going to get taken out.
Down, mid.
Cage triggered. I have retrieved the spike.
Great use of the Cypher wall to grab the spike and get out of there. Now down to Clove and Cypher. We're closing in on 10 seconds left. They need to rush this site. They need to get this point. But they're just not going to have any time left. Yakota being really diligent about how their placement is and doing a really good job of keeping Kubasaki down and ultimately getting another round in favor of them.
It's just
That's the
good
second round in a
time
row where Kubasaki has just really waited so long and not quite sure of where they want to go, that it's overall allowed things to just get so dire for them that they just have to push in, even though they are already at a disadvantage when they push in. Crucial round here also for Kubasaki, as one of them is having to settle for a stinger, so Yakota, with an advantage on guns, could bring this match tied right back to 4-4.
What a sonar dart out of Sova, learning exactly where everybody is. Knowing that everybody needs to rotate to a site. A lot of abilities coming out, a lot of smokes. Ooh, and there's one on Neon from Liam. Trying to turn the corner, getting Cypher as well. Now down to 3. Able to regain sight and also able to buy some time.
Swarm grenade up. Found them. Found them.
Me wondering,
Last player
hiding behind the
standing.
smoke under Heaven. You got the Clove now ready to use, not dead yet. Goes back into the smoke, has to get an elimination, and is unable to land it. So now this game will be tied back at 4 apiece, thanks to Yakota.
Great comeback out of Yakota to get these last 3 rounds. Playing some really great defense. You can also see right there, that KJ ult came into use. And that was the only ult in, I think, the entirety of those 3 rounds to be used. Hunter's Fury not yet charged, but Jet, Brim, and Gecko still all having their ults.
Keep your heads on.
We are just in the final few rounds of the first half, and wasting no time, Christian throws up the fast lane, going on into point A. Really huge departure of strategy of just kind of waiting around. Kubasaki doesn't want to waste any time getting the spike down. They'll force the orbital strike out from Yakota. Doesn't get anybody, so that's a good ultimate to burn off the board.
Spike planted.
And now gets the spike down. We'll move on into post plant. Down 1, but still winnable.
Very winnable.
Oh. Well, it definitely seems like Yakota, once they did get possession of these rifles, or at least halfway through round 1, their game really has tightened up. And could be taking what looked like could have been an easy Kubasaki win and making things a lot more complicated.
Yeah, that did seem to be the case, but now looking at it, we have Yakota versus Edren. Edren up 3-1 in game 1. With 2 minutes left, plenty of time for Yakota to try and bring this one back, dribbling it out. It's going to be a great 50 into the high. And it's going to be read by Lux. Ethan trying to read that one, but it's actually going to be a double commit. Anybody going to be in net? No. But Mace Windu getting demoed. Chas sending it to the backboard. Lux playing it slow, try to play around 1 or 2, and he's going to get around Caboose. All he has to do is play around Mace Windu. He's going to pass it towards his mid, maybe to Ethan. The brotherly combo coming out. Lux and Ethan being brothers on the same team.
Always nice when you have 2 teammates who just really well have good cohesion between each other. Can form, you know, even if your third player is kind of new, sometimes all you need them for is that final follow-up, maybe just a cleanup guy to help make sure that those balls go in. But normally you'll have 2 players up in the front trying to pass between themselves and get in an advantageous position to put a shot on goal, and definitely promising what we saw earlier there.
Definitely, and we'll have to check back in on that game later on, but right now we have to focus in on this nail-biting Valorant game against Yakota and Kubasaki.
Go, go, go.
Yakota leading by 1, Heon rushing onto site, using Wall's abilities, just trying to clear it out, trying to gain intel.
Standing ahead.
slowly but surely making their way up through mid, up toward catwalk, and nice, they're able to flush out Fish from there. That's a huge pickup. Getting rid of their Sentinel is going to make holding this point a lot more difficult. Trade back and forth. Mark 5 gets one, traded back by Fire Fiend. Now we do see Liam get a double. We're back to a 2-3 stat line. We've seen this particular stat line a lot in the past few rounds. Kubasaki gets the plant, but still down 2-3. Not dead yet to keep him at 2. Lands the shot and will get the res off of it as well.
1v1.
Here's the thing, I don't know if he would be, I certainly wouldn't be too hungry to start this fight anyhow. They just got to make sure that spike detonates. Jumps out and over. Just a game of cat and mouse.
Oh, through the smoke.
Oh my, the gun poked out there, but yeah, okay.
Oh, what a
well
flick!
played. I don't know if it is enough time.
Oh.
Nope, just barely less than a second, but that was well played by Kubasaki. Even if you can't win the gunfight in the end, as long as you stall them out for enough time for the spike to go off, you will still get the point nonetheless.
Absolutely. And Liam almost winning everything. It was just those smokes that came out that kind of saved him. He was coming out of his own smoke, and Sova could have gotten the kill there. Instead, he got blinded by another. Kubasaki, though, tying it up. Only 2 rounds left in the half. Who will come in? Who will be leading going into the second half, or will we still be tied?
Rotation through spawn over toward B. Means Fish probably won't be entering the equation. I don't know how many. Most of the successful plants that we've seen have been on A. Kubasaki has had a bit of rough luck trying to claim B. He also got this Sova right on the other side of the wall, just waiting to throw that dart out whenever he hears a good sound cue. And off we go as they make their way toward the choke. Bladestorm brought out by Alyssa's dad. Doesn't look like too many blades landed.
No more soba.
My manages to get one, traded back by Samurai. Good early plant. Has a good chance for Kubasaki to win this.
Good chance, but now down to a 3v2.
Placing swarm kill.
One enemy remaining.
Damage.
Enemy down.
Mai getting one, trying to look for another one. She has to look for the KJ right there. She's gonna get it.
Ready.
All that's left is Gecko, Mark, trying to cover this site. And he's gonna land it. Able to get the last kill. And should be able to get the defuse as well. Maybe.
Just one game left, just one left in the first half. Last chance for Kubasaki to attack here.
Need a drop.
Overall, as we take a look at the guns, however, kind of been interesting. About going out with a bang for the first half. We do see an Odin brought out for the first time. Wouldn't be surprised if that is, yeah, the traditional Sova Odin on site B, especially if you can get an early pick here. This might actually be great positioning for Samurai Mac. Gets the few pings going out, is going to let things fly. Finds one already on the wallbang, still picking up damage.
You should run.
And now they're going to face the lockdown, trying to force that Sova out, and now he's on his way and running. Orbital strike as well, though, catches them still in fish market. Great way to respond to that lockdown. Gets rid of it as well. Now just holding on back, waiting for a bit of a reprieve.
Going into this next round, Fire Fiend is going to be able to get one. Does get Liam. Going to try and pop a few smokes. Yakota still up in terms of agent count.
Found them.
Going through what looks to be tree. They're going to try and get as much intel as possible. Fish getting one with some abilities that they had lying around. They're also going to pop their own Killjoy. See if they can't secure this A site and prevent Kubasaki from planting. This looks to be the case. Nobody
30 seconds
detained,
left.
but Spike still in the hands of Kubasaki, looking to rotate to B site. Have to be careful. Coming around, market.
Last player standing.
Ooh, there's one.
10 seconds
Will they
left.
get Sova? They almost do, but Clove should have enough time to potentially plant. No.
Not ready yet.
Mark with a very much needed kill, putting Yakota up by
Switching
2.
sides.
Now we move on into the second half. We'll see how Kubasaki does, trying their hands at defending. Yakota ready to move on in. Interesting thing, though, is that I was thinking that we were going to see it, since usually we do see the Jet op being brought on in defense, but Dakota decided not to go for that. It does seem to be a strategy that's working out for them. We'll see how they do with 3 Ghosts. In fact, majority of players for this first round choosing Ghosts, so could end up being just a little bit faster of a pistol round with that added damage being thrown out.
Could be, but another thing to note is that Kubasaki did get the first pistol round earlier in the game, so it'll be interesting to see if they can replicate that or if Yakota will come out on top.
Slow but steady progress up toward the main archway. That Cypher is looking through it, though, with the camera. Throws out the dart. Gets hit with the dizzy.
Caught one, found you.
One enemy
Fire
remaining.
Fiend picking up,
Spike
doing
down
work,
A.
getting the triple. And now just one left for Yakota as things start off great for Kubasaki. Most likely we're going to see a tied game here in a round or two if Kubasaki continues performing like this.
Flawless.
Indeed, and once again, it wasn't a fluke and it wasn't coincidence, but Kubasaki getting both pistol rounds in this game so far, cutting the lead down to a 6-7, but also taking a look back at this Rocket League game, Edren is going to be able to get that game 1 win. Now down to 2 minutes left in this game 2, also up in the lead.
Yes, this should do.
Also, isn't too much of a surprise that their team is working so well together. Edren, Lucas right there. As we have been informed, Lucas and Ethan, both brothers, so definitely having a sibling on the same team as you. You know that they play that game together beforehand and have that team cohesion, so could be a very bright future for Edren moving forward in Rocket League.
Very much so, and I think I've seen another professional team with twin brothers on them, and they are one of the best in the world. But like we said, we're gonna have to look back at that Rocket League game later because we're still pretty much almost tied here in this game. Yakota looking to go towards B site. Have to be careful. Killjoy on site is gonna be able to get 2.
Oh
Getting
my
a 3rd,
goodness,
almost
my.
getting a 4th. Fish able to shut down that streak.
One enemy
Makes it
remaining.
happen with the Ares. Pilsner gets one with the Guardian. Now Fish, yeah, didn't even have enough time to plant there. A lot of pressure comes through from Kubasaki. I also think an Outlaw, I see an Outlaw being held by one of them too, so we didn't see a whole lot of sniping from Yakota on defense, but maybe Kubasaki has a slightly different strategy.
Maybe. It'll be interesting to see. Now that we are seeing snipers come out, will we see these long-range plays? And this is also still interesting because, like you were saying at the beginning of this match, for the side of Kubasaki, there is no Jet with a sniper. So it'll be interesting to see how this will happen. Through the smoke, no hits.
Pilsner gets the first blood of the round. Takes out Liam. Let's just add slowly making their way with the spike holder through mid. Trying to gain territory into mid market. Sees the positioning of the Neon there. Nice play to
Spike
flush him
down
out, but Pilsner was holding back as the backup manages to trade 1. Fire Fiend down to 20 health as both teams sit even.
Cypher checking that camera, not seeing anybody. Opts to think that they probably might be going B site. Oh, they're gonna see Jet right there. And that's when everybody knows, hey, we need to rotate, we need to go to A site. That's where they're going. Alyssa's dad able to get the plant off. And now it's gonna be a gun battle, 3v3. There's a 2 down for Yakota. Killjoy, all that's left. Dizzy goes out and Gecko gets that final kill. Yakota getting another win and putting themselves back on top.
And really good of them to get the win in that specific round, too. The one that they needed to win, they couldn't have really afforded to let Kubasaki bonus them, getting 3 wins in a row. Kubasaki, though, was going to be able to meet him on back here at this crucial 4th round in the second half. Nearly all rifles, except for Fish, who has this Guardian. It's very small differential in terms of gun power, but there is one there slightly favoring Kubasaki.
Very slow and methodical. You can see that spike on that right side. Potentially going towards A site. Fish getting a long range shot on Neon. Gecko being the one to hold the spike. You can see now it's a 3v1 there. Unfortunate for Clove. Not going to win that one. Now it's a 5v3 in favor of Yakota, pushing towards A site.
Spike down A.
Oh my goodness, that's a very nice quick adjustment there. Nice little flick, and gets the headshot very quickly, keeping Kubasaki's hopes alive.
Swarm grenade out.
Mai trying to reposition as Spike goes down. Nice pickup from Heaven, but it's all up to Mai. And they're being flanked right now. Lands that. Now we're down to 1-1. Huge round for either team to win, and Liam gets one shot with the headshot. Puts some life back in Yakota.
No need for a second shot. It could have been one bullet in the barrel or in the magazine. And Liam making it count, putting Yakota up by 2. Closing the margin down to 4 rounds left until they get the win.
And even more importantly, it forces Kubasaki to move on to economy round, whereas it's all Vandals for Yakota. Off we go with a fairly cohesive team push through A short, but they want to wait to see if there's going to be any util thrown out. They do take the route onto A. They don't have to deal with all the Cypher traps, but they do have to deal with one more player than if they had gone on toward B. Going in with the recon dart, might just check around this corner. Things playing very slow so far in this next round. Yakota doesn't want to waste this economy round that they forced Kubasaki onto.
Now starting to make the push onto site. You can see there's 3 members of Kubasaki just waiting. Sova's going to push up just a tad. They saw one. And use the sonar to see where everybody's at. Now they're going to choose to rotate up towards B. And they know that they can travel through mid safely because Killjoy is there waiting, not seeing anybody.
30 seconds
Slowly
left.
but surely making their way over toward B. Their spike holder, actually, they have a good number of people up here near Gardens, but their spike holder is trying to push B. So a bit of a split push here, but it's a good fake out because it's caused all of Kubasaki to rotate on over toward A. And you know what? It is a diversion, but it might be just what makes him win it. Because they just might, before the spike's even planted, take them all out. They played Kubasaki like a fiddle that round.
Ooh, they sure did. Getting a flawless on top of it.
Win.
They played that so well. Sending players all over the map. 2-1-2. And Kubasaki just couldn't do anything about it.
All right. If there's any time Kubasaki needs to take it back, it's now. It's going to be their one rifle round before they have to be forced back onto economy. And should that one go how we expect, with Yakota winning it off the gun advantage, that would put them at match point. So to prevent that, this last little bit of a wiggle room that Kubasaki has here, they got to win this.
They really do. It's been so close this whole game. Kubasaki, they're going to be looking to try and regain, close the gap, maybe even show us the first overtime in this entire tournament, or at least on stream.
Careful now.
Dive in by the jet, using the tailwind to get. Oh, nice! Up and over that Cypher cage. They've already got one, that lunatic down. One Sentinel down, one to go for Kubasaki.
Have one of these.
Fire Fiend drops on down to ground level and manages to pick up two with the spray. Will use the not dead yet. Oh, almost caught Mark off guard, but Mark still manages to find it.
One enemy remaining.
Very good for Yakota here. Also, they've got both their ultimates, a Thrash and a Hunter's Fury, so they have everything they need to stall this out. I wouldn't be gun-ho about peeking any corners if I were them. Just let that Sova come to them. Here we go with the Thrash. If they can land it. Oh, it hits him too. That's the round. That's it. They're going to go in.
Last player.
Oh,
He got out of
could
it.
you even
He got out
knew he
of it.
was. How? Oh, that was. How do you even blow that? That's such a flub. I mean, either it's not going to make a difference, there isn't enough time to
There
defuse the
isn't.
spike, but still, I mean.
I feel like that might have been a communication issue from Gecko saying, hey, the Thrash landed, rush it.
He's in Gardens, but
Yeah.
he didn't say which way to look going into Gardens.
Even then, you don't need to be really cautious about that, having Sova be the last player left. But we are going to once again peek over at this Rocket League game between Robert D. Edren and Yakota High School. Edren up by 1, closing in on a minute and a half left of this game. Is trying to send it down Ethan, maybe a pass, and it's going to be on target, saved by Chaz and Caboose. Whew. Only a split second there, but we do see that it's getting close over in the Rocket League world, but you have to watch the rest of this one as a firefight starts going through. Pilsner getting Alyssa's dad, Liam getting Pilsner. Trade happening, 4v3, now 3v3. Players going down left and right.
Watch out.
Yakota still in the lead.
Spike planted.
Orbital strike available. Oh, beats him out. That speediness of the Neon, able to outrun that gunfire, has taken that orbital strike off the table.
Last player standing.
Mark manages to take out the Neon, though. Just Fire Fiend left and gets flanked from behind, leaving Yakota at match point.
Match point.
I think it was a good idea with the smokes from Clove, just unfortunate positioning to where they had to come out of the smokes, and Sova able to finish off that Kubasaki team. Now down to only 1 round left. Will Kubasaki be able to bring it back and try and keep their hopes alive going into this bracket?
Only 1 round left to decide it all. Christians have taken a long sideline out through mid. Meanwhile, we take a look back at the Rocket League game with just 10 seconds left and a 2-goal lead. It does look like Edren will take that. Move on to the next round in convincing fashion. Could be another one of these teams that might prove to be some sort of a challenge for Humphreys, which seems to be the clear favorite to win as we narrow down the competition. Samurai, gets eliminated instantly by that lunatic. Had it lined up nicely with the headshot. Mai also finds one. They got their backs up against it, but they're performing when they need to, keeping themselves alive. Kubasaki brings it up to 8-12.
And only dropping 1 agent, working very well.
Turret out. Need a drop.
Yakota still on match point. They're looking for this 13th round to try and close it out and take it to the next round of this bracket, ultimately putting themselves into the semifinals and guaranteeing a top 4 finish. But we have to go and see what'll happen. Looks like Yakota's going to go for B site.
A lot is riding on this final round. Kubasaki is still definitely within range to finish this out with a win themselves. But Yakota bringing out the Blade Storm almost immediately, almost getting the turret, but not quite. Fire Fiend ready and waiting for the rest of the team. Also with Mai taking out 3. Only 2 attackers from Yakota are left standing after the Blade Storm was not as effective as what they'd like it to be.
Remaining.
No, and Mai, the only one left, making very quick work of that. Once again, only dropping 1 agent. Kubasaki bringing it up 9-12.
I feel like Kubasaki finally found their mojo a little bit. We saw it earlier out in the round. Fire Fiend was kind of carrying their offense and as well as their defense there. They were like, I think it was like 20-10 the last time I checked in and was
Straight
able to see
Vandals
it.
as well.
Yeah, just helping out their team a ton. And now that everybody's sort of finding their groove a little bit more, it's helped them out a ton. But Yakota is still in dangerous territory here. If they get 1 more win, that still counts as a win for them. Kubasaki needs to find 2 more if they want to even keep themselves in the game while making a mistake and letting Yakota take a round.
Yeah, well, they need 3 to guarantee overtime.
Yeah.
2 would still allow Yakota to get that 13th round and win.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But Pilsner getting one off the Hunter's Fury. It's going to be trade from Mark. 4v4, Gecko having that Thrash ultimate. Let's see what he can do with that. Everybody's going to push towards B. What a bounce with the Sova Dart. Is he going to be able to get anything from it? No.
But the Recon Bolt does go out from Cypher, so Kubasaki knows where Yakota is. Close Smoke goes out too to buy a little bit more time, and Pilsner is able to find one with the Shock Dart through the smoke. That's going to put a little bit of a hitch in Yakota's plans. That Lunatic also going down, leaving only 2 left as I see Fire Fiend doing a little bit of a sneaky maneuver in the background.
Sneaky indeed, and you can tell that Mark heard that turret go down, so he's going to check to
30
see what's
seconds
happening.
Yeah, being encircled on all sides by Kubasaki, Yakota really has no choice but to find a way to push forward. But if they take their eyes off one of these 2 sight lines, it's just going to lead to a pinch. And that's not where you want to be, especially with 14 seconds left in the round and a significant man disadvantage.
10
It
seconds
looks
left.
like they're going to have to make a play here.
Make a play or just take the round loss with 3 seconds left. That's going to be ultimately what's going to happen. Now they're just going to try and stay alive for 6 more seconds. They're going to get 1 for the
but they're
road.
gonna
Maybe
get
getting
one.
Pilsner.
Oh,
No.
not quite 2.
No, but that will be the round. 12-10, definitely. I'd have to say the closest round we've seen so far.
And
Or the
yeah,
closest game.
and if it keeps going like this, we might see a few more to come. 12-10, this is the closest it's been all week with any of the games so far. And all of them have been nail-biter and close, especially in this past defensive round. I think Kubasaki has a little bit more comfort on the defense. I mean, with Cypher and Killjoy, you essentially have the ability to lock out entire points pretty much with one character. They're just such strong... they're basically like a gate point, if anything. It's like you got to pay the toll in order to go past. And in both of these cases, it's like 3 or 4 pieces of utility that 100% the defenders are going to hear.
Yeah, seriously. And you can see right here, Fish is going to take a timeout, try to regroup and rethink their strategy going into these latter rounds. I mean, ultimately, if Kubasaki can get 2 more, then it's going to be an overtime.
It'll definitely, yes. And I don't think that Yakota was really ready for it. I think that they got into the groove during their defensive round. They got a ton of an advantage there. It was huge. I think it was at one point 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty much all taken away within the span of a round. But with the end of the timeout, we're going to have to see how everything plays out. Fire Fiend playing really close to the barrier, waiting for it to drop. And it looks like Fish is debating whether or not to keep that sight line, and they're going to decline it, opting for the middle night market, but Kristen Sev is right there to take his pound of flesh before going down himself. Fish does find the 1, but it's still tied up.
It is, and you have 2 ults on the side of Kubasaki with that extra life and neural theft. Sonar goes out.
Drop in a smoke.
Also some smokes from Clove trying to block their vision.
Building area.
Everybody just trying to get intel on where the other team is, and it looks to be that A site might be the final decider. Sova, got to be careful here, throwing out some shock darts. Jet avoiding that and also getting trip. Does activate the trip wire from Cypher. This is going to be close. Pilsner, that lunatic getting 2, getting a 3. This could be the opportunity. All that's left is Brim, and he's going to go down. Defenders winning.
That tree passageway has probably spilled the most blood out of any point on this map during this game, and yet they just keep going for it. It is a really direct route, but at the same time, you're open to 2 or 3 different angles that are so hard to attack into. You can either take the window from the tree that leads to heaven. You can take it where it sort of curves like an S. There's just so many different places that you can come from.
Yeah, or either even from onto site, there's a few angles that you can hold right there, just trying to hold that and also get a view onto that hallway coming out. But right now, Yakota on their last stretch. If they lose this, we are guaranteed overtime, but if they win, they'll move on in the bracket.
Yakota, they had their timeout in the last round, didn't quite work out for them, but I'm sure that they've workshopped their strategy a little bit. They only need 1 in order to win this whole thing, and their bracket run is currently on the line. Making it through the first round is no easy feat, and now that they're in this second one, they have been giving us one heck of a show, and it would be very sad for them to go out now after losing so many rounds to Kubasaki after they found their groove.
It would be, and these smokes are going to go down, and we're probably going to see some firefights going out.
Alyssa's dad seems like he heard the subtle jump out of Yakota. Jumps up, doesn't see him. Liam takes it, so does Mark. The revive does come out of Clove, but can they find the kill in order to resurrect? No! Alyssa's dad is going to take it. That is 2 off the side of Kubasaki, with Fish currently rotating around. And I don't know if Mai knows where Fish is at currently.
Those are able to tie this up. Cypher and Gekko wall, throwing Dizzy out. Are they able to get one?
With the wall bang.
Nobody, they see Mai. Not able to go through. There's going to be firefights right there. Mark has to land the shot. Pilsner getting the last one of Samurai Mac. This is going to be it. Mark getting Pilsner. It's 2v1.
Ooh, and only 7 seconds left. He has to plant here, but he can't. Defenders manage to win. Kubasaki is going to bring this game to overtime.
And our first one of 3 days of round robin and bracket play, finally seeing an overtime, and a good one at that.
Yes.
Yeah, but this jump out of Jet was just so unexpected, and honestly, that if there were any more defenders there, that would have been completely detrimental for Kubasaki. Luckily, there were only two casualties to be had, but at the same time, they only needed 2 at the very end there to take down the last part of their push. And Yakota is back on defense from the looks of things. So that begs the question. They were so dominant in their defensive play. Is that going to carry over into overtime?
Potentially. Now seeing a second swap, but also a 3rd pistol round come out. Will we see what's going to happen? Everybody's kind of hugging that left side, seeing what's going to happen. Hopefully being able to get onto B site. But like you were just talking about, Yakota's defense is very strong, holding Kubasaki to several times where they had to just waste their time and not even get a plant off.
Seem really hesitant to go in. The recon dart does go out. Doesn't find everybody. Everybody's behind walls. Both shock darts go through, but so does the wall from Neon. The only one who took any damage in that was Sova, and now Christian Sev has made their way into the back line. Alyssa's dad goes down, but Liam finds his revenge onto Fire Fiend, and now Pilsner is kind of being held up by Samurai Mac here. And from the looks of things, it's just going to be a straight up back and forth. Liam and Samurai both finding their own kills, and now it is just Cypher and Killjoy to defend the spike here.
It really is.
Found them.
Just going through these rounds, you can tell which team prefers what. It's going to be Mark versus mine. Mark getting the best of that one. Cypher, last one alive, has to really be careful here. Coming out of the smoke. Oh, and it just drops right then and there. Samurai Mac getting that one. Yakota back into the groove of things on defense. All they need now, once again, is one more round.
Just one more round, that's all you need. And that's honestly kind of the slogan of Valorant, though. Just one more round, just one more round. One more round and we can get better guns. One more round and we can get a few more kills for ultimates. Just one more round and we win this thing. Just one more round, we go to overtime. And it seems to be the one phrase everybody has in their back pocket when they're playing this game.
Yeah.
Everything comes down to the wire. Even if the stat line is 312, everything can be summed up pretty much with just one more.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, it's half an hour later, your pizza rolls are cold in the microwave, and you're still in an overtime match. But going into this, Clove is going to be very aggressive here, hopefully get one, and they're going to not get a single one!
Before anything happens, Mai left alone on the point with an Odin too. And on the low ground here, Dizzy goes out
Gets
and manages
one.
to find it. It's Mark, but Mark goes down as well. Cypher, not,
Almost.
or the, ooh, man. Samurai Mac able to find a really good kill onto Killjoy with a little bit of an assist from Dizzy. And now the rest of Kubasaki is left to try and encircle Yakota. But with the spike ticking down, it's going to be pretty difficult to really get in, especially now that they know locations thanks to Sova Dart.
There's one, couldn't get a second. It's going to be a 3v2 in favor of Yakota. It's going to be interesting. You can still see Mai trying to use that Odin to try and get some kills. Pilsner getting Liam. Also getting Samurai and going to get Fish! Oh, are they going to get like able to defuse?
Is it going to go through?
Halfway.
No!
It's going to be so close.
It's... They got it through! Kubasaki continues their run! Oh my goodness!
Switching sides.
Oh!
Overtime.
That was, if that happened just milliseconds later.
2.23 seconds later.
2.23 seconds. That is the margin of error that took. Oh my goodness.
I thought it would have started off right here with Mai trying to get this one with Fish. Or no, it was Fire Fiend. Couldn't get a single one. Now going into this 27th round. Switching sides once again, Kubasaki has the spike. Yakota very comfortable on defense as we've seen. And another Odin in the play.
Yeah, as these rounds go on, I think that the advantage will slowly fall into Yakota's hands. We saw what they were able to do with Vandals and Snipers, and I'm sure that they'll be able to keep using that to their advantage. Kubasaki still trying to make their way through. Looks like they're going to be focusing that A point once again, going down the dreaded tree hallway. Brimstone going to fire out a smoke and a Molotov, trying to find something, but nothing ends up going through with it through Night Market. Fish does catch them out on the rotation, but the smoke goes down. Not very much you can do through that. Owl Drone comes out, and I don't think it found Fish. I don't think they saw him. But I bet that bullet spray is going to notify that there is somebody there. Walls go out from Christian Sev, and that is going to be a pretty easy rotation through what's been a killer. But Fish is going to find one. Same with Mark. That lunatic is going to end up finding it on Fish. But that is not a very good spot to be. And with 2 health, thanks to Mosh, he doesn't get thrown out often, but when he does, he gets good value. Mark also finding one on Fire Fiend. And
They just have to
Cypher
run.
and Killjoy once again left to hold the point.
They just have to run
Oh,
for it.
God,
Not able to get one.
rotation.
Able to get Cypher though, and the 2 health. Killjoy is going to be on the back end, and then all it took was one bullet, whether it be the toe or the head. They're going to go down, and Yakota are going to gain the lead once again.
Yakota once again finding themselves up around, but we saw this exact scenario play out last time. While it might have been very, very close, Kubasaki was still able to step up their game and prevent that spike from going, Kubasaki, or Yakota was able to prevent the spike from going through. So, you never know. We might see a few more rounds overtime. In my heart of hearts, I kind of don't want it to go to like 30-30 rounds, because I think that would be a little miserable for both viewers and players, but at the same time, it's always fun to see rounds go down to the wire, and this is the closest it's been.
I'm sure this place has got to be ecstatic where they're being held, since it is a live event. Everybody is able to be there and watch. I'm sure everybody's being so tense about this. Everybody else who's playing in this tournament is probably looking forward to who is going to come out on top and who's going to move forward in the bracket.
Christian Sev taking a look through Night Market, not really able to find anything here. Clove trying to take a peek out, seeing if they might be able to spot somebody. And I do see Killjoy with the Omen there, and there it goes through. Doesn't quite find a kill, but Alyssa's dad managed to find one on Fire Fiend. Mai, though, sitting there right off the ledge. Are they going to be spotted beforehand? And no, Mai's going to take out Samurai Mac and being able to back out before, but he finds another two. And
that was Omen v Omen.
Ooh.
30
Kubasaki
seconds left.
still has 2 players. Yakota only 1. Yakota with the spike and goes down. Kubasaki evening it out once again.
You could see Silva right there. He was able to use the Aldron and know exactly where KJ was. That was so tight. Humphreys and Kadena, though, on the other hand, moving into that, I believe, semi-final round, if not the quarterfinals still. But regardless, though, Kadena, they're going to be up by 3 right now with 24 seconds left. Humphreys not able to do much.
Yeah, Humphreys has kind of proven to be one of the better players in this league, and the fact that Kadena has been able to really get through to them, that is definitely something to see. Taking out one of the big dogs right before the championship drive, that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, and we're going to have to look back at that Humphrey-Kadena game in just a little bit. We're still tied in overtime here, 14-14. Yakota on defense. What's going to happen? It looks like Spike is on the left side, peeking at B. But once again, we're seeing this slow and methodical start from both of these teams, seeing who's going to step out and who's going to start the gun fight.
Kubasaki back on attack. It's proven to be not quite what they want in this matchup. But in overtime here, basically what happens is the positions get swapped around in every round. And while I'm explaining it, Mai finds 2. Alyssa's dad goes down, one of their most highly mobile players, and Yakota and Kubasaki is able to plant. Christian Seb not able to find anything on the flank and ends up getting taken out by Mai. And out goes the attacker Killjoy. Liam trying to find his way out, and just barely. No one's detained, but that's 15 seconds off the clock. Liam is going to have to make a move, but Fire Fiend is right where he needs to be in order to stop that in its tracks. But Mark and Fish are going to find everything they need to bring themselves up one more time.
Great round out of them, and I feel like every overtime round right now has had an omen, so there's just someone spraying through the walls, trying to get someone who's just lurking out in the corner.
Switching sides.
Those lurkers are scary, but with omens having such great firepower, there's just so much you can do with them. But it looks like we're swapping back now. Yakota back on offense, Kubasaki on defense. And these teams are going to have to find a way to break up the strategy a little bit, because what we've seen a lot is somewhat similar strategies. You wait for them to plant, you circle them in, and then you crush them. But that's not going to work if both teams are just as good at defense as one another. So they're going to have to figure out, what do we need to do better? Do we need to place our crosshairs a little better? Do we need to catch people out on the flank a little more? Or maybe it's just an issue about our utilities and everything as well.
Potentially.
But no ultimates ready on the table at the beginning of this round. Sova pretty close to Hunter's Fury on the side of Yakota. Liam also fairly close to Orbital Ray from the Brimstone. But Pilsner taking a look out on Night Market. Nobody is quite there yet. Shock Dart does go out on the A side along with the Location Dart. The Kubasaki defense now knows where Yakota is, but ditto to the other team as well. Dizzy gets triggered, nothing comes out of it but a blind. Trades are going left and right, both teams still at 3-3 as the bomb is being planted here. Mark's going to hold the defense, but this is going to be a hard one for Kubasaki to take back.
Very hard, but they need it though if they want to stay alive in this overtime. It is 15-14 in favor of Yakota. If Yakota can just let this spike either go off or get the remaining 2 players, Neon and Mai.
I'm out of here.
There's Christian Seb rotating around the backside, not able to catch anybody, but caught by Mark from the other
There's
side.
two, and Mark finding a second, closing out the game in, I think that was 13, in 5 rounds of overtime.
Yeah, that was insane. Well, yeah, no, 7.
It was?
Well, from, what do you want to count it, 12 to
Well,
11?
I was counting it when both of them were at 12, so it would be.
Then it would have been 6, because it was 16 to 14.
Oh yeah. So it would have been, but still, 6 rounds overtime.
That's
6 more
pretty
than what
good.
we've seen from every Valorant game we've watched combined. So
Yeah.
that was an incredible round, and congratulations to Yakota for managing to make it through to the semifinals. And that is nothing to scoff at there. They fought hard for this one.
Very hard.
But that's not all. We do have a few more games going on in the background. Like currently, we have a Rocket League match going on against Humphreys and Kadena. Looks like Kadena was able to take that first round and has a pretty good lead going into the second. It may only be by 1, but that's all you need to win by.
Sometimes it is all you need, but with 3 minutes left, it's going to be close.
If I remember right, Humphreys and Kadena played each other in the round robin earlier in the week, and I think it was also Kadena that came out on top. King Kaiser showing us why that might have been with his great aerial play to get this 3rd goal.
And already seeing Humphreys today on the broadcast, you're able to see them take a very commanding lead in their first series of the day, but now going to this one, they're faced with with a much tougher challenge in Kadena. Putting it up by 3, going into the corner right now. New Soup able to just get 1 touch, try to stick with it as much as he can. The other team hovering in the midfield with a full take a boost. He's going to get beat out by Kaiser. Cosmic able to clear it out with the save. It's going to float towards net on the other end, and New Soup has to make this save. And he sure does, keeping Kadena safe.
Weth able to take the ball back from the midfield. Sen trying to contest it, but New Soup is right behind him. Almost getting it to the goal, but Cosmic Rocket League is right there to help out Weth with the midfield bump, just trying to keep it on the offense, and he's doing a pretty good job monopolizing that 100 boost there. King Kaiser trying to take it away, but the other team is going to take it right back. Takes it right to the midfield. Sen is able to take it. He missed it the first time, but he might be able to take it there. But nope, Weth is going to take that away. Cosmic Rocket League able to grab back the ball, but Weth playing that defense is just not letting it get anywhere close. Weth with a bounce off the backboard. Someone's trying to get through. King Kaiser may not have made the shot, but he did make the demo. That's going to mean 100 less boost for the other team and 1 less player for Humphreys.
1 less player, and I got to note Sen with an amazing save to keep that ball out. Weth potentially going for the 3%. It's going to bounce down. Sen with just barely enough boost to make that save. New Soup able to keep it in for just the moment. Sen still no boost. Weth trying to make that touch, but he does get a bump instead. King Kaiser getting a demo, and still Kadena can't get it in front of the net for another opportunity at a potential 4th goal. Now closing in past a minute and a half left of this game. Kadena still very much so in the lead.
Yeah, Weth rotating back to play defense on that back corner. They really, the Humphreys offense has really been trying to pressure it, but just nothing really has come out of it. They get it to the midfield, and it's just immediately taken away by Kadena. New Soup able to take it back to that corner, keeping it away from the front of the goal, but Sen with a shot on goal with some help from Cosmic. Nothing is able to be found from it. 1 minute left to go. King Kaiser making sure it ends on a defensive note.
And 1 minute left until Kadena go up by 2 games, putting themselves onto match point and potential for a grand final. Sen sending that one high. King Kaiser trying to read it into the corner. It's going to float for just a little bit. Nothing towards the middle of the net quite yet. New Soup a little too close for a follow. But he's able to send it to the sidewall where it can be awkward for Sen. Following up on that one. And he gets a great 50. Cosmic has plenty of boost to reach towards that one. Try to continue a Humphreys offense. Because Humphreys still down by 2. They need another one, and a great save out of the other team to keep that ball out of their net.
Yeah, New Soup playing a little bit more defense, unable to touch it, but King Kaiser is able to center it. Nobody quite there without much boost to go off, but New Soup still keeping it on that side. 10 seconds left. Sen is able to prevent the goal, but with only 3 seconds left, I think it's pretty safe to say, with 1 to go, with 1 for the road and a hat trick for King Kaiser, Kadena is going to take this.
They sure are. They're going to go up 2-0 and put themselves on the match point, looking to win this next one and send themselves to the grand finals.
The spot where everybody wants to be, and this is looking like a really hard-fought victory for them. I'm honestly kind of surprised, though. Humphreys has been doing a really, really good job, and I would have expected them to play a little bit closer. They had a lot of really good aerials in their last performance in the last 2 rounds that we saw. In the group stage play, we saw a lot of that good movement and passing, and overall, just really great team synergy. And I just feel like there's too much disruption from the side of Kadena to really make use of any of that skill.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because, I mean, going into this game 3, you've really got to see a comeback come out of Humphreys. You want to see them try and fight just a little bit harder, try and get a game 3 win, force it to game 4. But for Kadena, it's gonna be a nail biter.
It is going to be a nail biter the full way through, and for Kadena, it's just 1 win left to go, and Humphreys is 1 win away from being knocked out. But here we go, potentially the final round of the semifinals for Rocket League. And this one should be a nail biter. Should be a very good game. And honestly, I just hope we see a little bit more offensive pressure from the side of Humphreys. Cosmic Rocket League is going to lose out the 50-50 to New Soup, and King Kaiser is on it like a bloodhound. But Weth is going to need to fall back to save it, as Humphreys is right where we've seen them for a lot of this tournament, right there on the offensive side. But Weth is going to get demoed by the other team. New Soup quick to return it. The ball goes in, and King Kaiser immediately scoring for Kadena.
What? That was just a flurry of demos and shots. This is going to be huge for Kadena. And right now, 20 seconds in, Kadena already getting their first goal. King Kaiser winning that kickoff as well, taking it into the corner. It's going to be a beat out of the other team. New Soup missing that touch, and Sen trying to beat their by Weth.
Oh,
it's going to go into the corner. New Soup just trying to keep control right now, because that's all they need. They already have the lead, so now they just need to maintain it.
King Kaiser and Weth both trying to keep it off their side of the field. Sen battling for control, but with no boost, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Cosmic trying to get through, but nobody on his team has any boost. The other team, though, able to get back and save it just before it goes in. King Kaiser, though, is not facing the same issue. Has full boost, manages to bounce it off the other team, and New Soup with a shot blocked by the other team just barely. And with a lot of boost to spare, this ball has been centered right back to the midfield, and New Soup is ready to return the rally. Weth getting a demo just for a bit of good measure.
Maybe King Kaiser almost able to roll that one in, but instead Weth is going to be able to keep up the opportunity. It's going to roll towards net, and the other team is going to be able to save that one out and get it away from their net. King Kaiser sending one again towards the midfield. The other team getting a one touch. King Kaiser actually fakes it out, maybe leaving it for Weth. Shot, and in for Weth.
What a shot out of Weth. Textbook how you shoot those off your teammate. King Kaiser tees it up perfectly, and like a driver, Weth sinks it into the hole.
Minute and a half into this game, still a lot to be played, but at the same time, that's just less game for Humphreys to try and make a comeback. Now down 2.
New Soup able to get a touch on the ball, preventing a really good opportunity for Humphreys to really get in. King Kaiser with another shot, but Sen is able to block it, and he blocks Weth too. What saves coming out of Humphreys right now?
Oh, and almost another shot right there. Weth not able to reach that one. Sen getting a pitch off the wall. New Soup able to doink it just to the side, trying to keep it away from any other player on the side of Humphreys. The other team sending it to the sidewall. It's going to bounce mid. Maybe instead it's going to be for New Soup. The team getting another touch, trying to follow it, and he does indeed. And he's going to get a demo and possibly win that race to the corner. Oh, he actually lost it, but still able to continue, and Humphreys' offense is huge. Now closing in on half the game left to go. Humphreys, they need a goal here, and they need a goal now.
I've also seen that Humphreys has yet to score a shot on goal, almost finding one there, but Sen gets blocked right before he can hit the ball. King Kaiser taking the lead, trying to get in, and he bounces it off his teammate. New Soup manages to find another goal in this round. King Kaiser is on a rampage.
So close, but yet so far. And Kadena up by 3, doing an amazing job to maintain this.
Weth is going to win out on the 50-50. The other team doubling back to the 100, trying to get the boost, but King Kaiser also finds his. Sen and the other team both finding their way to the ball before it goes in, but Weth is right back. The double up on the post. It goes off the crossbar, but no commitment out of the Humphreys defense. It seems like they knew that wasn't going in, but New Soup able to find the ball. It doesn't matter. King Kaiser with another.
What a read, taking it up, getting another shot towards that far post, and it's gonna bounce off, almost getting the save. Oh, they were so close, but now down to 2 minutes left, 4-0. It's looking like this could be it for Kadena.
Kadena misses out on the engage, but it doesn't matter. It's set up perfectly for Weth to just knock it in.
What a shot out of Weth to just lengthen the lead just a little bit more. Beat out by Sen. He's going to take it into the corner. I'll also get that mid boost. New Soup just trying to chase it down. Keep it out of his hands. Maybe it's going to roll towards net. Not quite.
Cosmic unable to save it before running out of boost, but the other team is sitting on that other 100. Sen is able to take it away, prevent it from going any further, but at the cost of his own life. New Soup manages to get the demo and keep them in the game.
Kaiser with a quick shot.
Kaiser with the shot. Weth unable to follow up though, lacking boost, and the other team is able to get the save. Weth able to take it out of the corner right to the other team, who's not able to knock it away. Sen still trying to get this ball away, but King Kaiser finding the hat trick with a little help from Weth, giving them quite the lead.
Quite the lead indeed, and probably this game 3. What a turnaround for them. 6-0 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left. I mean, I'd probably say that's gonna be it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's possible to get a score every 10 seconds, but at the same time, it's really hard, especially with the nerves on the line. New Soup finding another shot on goal just to make that valley even larger.
A little bit more salt in the wound. Just an unfortunate 50 off of the hood of Sen. Cosmic, even with full boost, not able to reach it. And Kadena not able.
King Kaiser managing to win the 50. Weth is able to win it again, and Sen is going to be the one who ends up with the ball in the end. New Soup missing the engagement. Weth and King Kaiser both trying to take it away, but the other team is quick to knock it back. But with no boost, it's going to be a little difficult. This might be one. But Cosmic is going to make sure they don't go out of this game at a 7-0.
No, but they're going to make it at 7-1 instead, and we're going to get the Brazil. Regardless, though, a very, very good series out of Kadena.
Yeah, Kadena has definitely proven themselves to be one of the better teams in this tournament, especially here. It takes a lot of grit to get to the semifinals, and just being here in the first place automatically makes you one of the better teams in this league. And the fact that they were able to make it so far and be so dominant in a lot of their performances really does say a lot. Weth able to get a shot on goal, but the other team manages to take it away. New Soup trying to get some more control of this ball, but King Kaiser gonna take it to the goal. 10 seconds left. Is Kadena gonna find another way in? Cosmic is not gonna let it happen, and with that, I believe it's pretty safe to say Kadena has managed to punch their ticket to the final, and almost getting an 8th for the road.
Almost indeed. 7-1. Final scoreline in game 3. What a series out of them.
What a series. It only went to game 3, but the first 2 were pretty close to one another. It is a little unfortunate. It did end out in a Brazil, but with 2 great teams going against one another, it'll be interesting to see what the winner of the other semifinal round is going to have in response to Kadena.
But at the same time, it just shows how fast we're moving through these brackets, now down to the semis and grand finals.
Yeah, for both Rocket League semifinals and I believe Valorant semifinals are currently underway. So here in a little bit, we're going to have our finalists for both Valorant and Rocket League. And we are going to take a quick break before that happens. But before the break, we are going to be going into the Valorant match for the semifinals.
Ooh, I'm going to love to see that one, just to see who's going to go to that grand final matchup.
Yeah, even if we are only going to see one side. Out of another matchup, we saw several rounds of overtime. So it'll be interesting to see how far this one goes into overtime as well. Because you'd think as the skill gap gets lower and lower and lower, we're going to see less and less mistakes. We're going to see more and more great plays out of people. And it's all going to come down to a few key shots.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, as we saw in that last one, 6 rounds of overtime, neck and neck the whole way through. And I expect, like you said, as we go through this, as we go into the semis and the grand finals, it's just going to get closer and closer and closer, and we're going to see better and better gameplay out of these players.
Yeah, the gameplay already has been spectacular out of everybody, and it's honestly been incredible for this entire game. But looking at it, I believe that I was a little bit wrong. We don't have a Valorant game, but we are moving into another round of the Rocket League semis. Currently, we just saw the Kadena Humphreys Rocket League game, and now it looks like we're going to be getting to see the Edren and Guam Rocket League game as well. And we're going to see both of our semifinalists in Rocket League.
Yes, we are. We're going to be able to see who is going to be that grand final matchup at the end of the day, and who's going to be able to have that opportunity to take that trophy home.
Yeah, and while we may not see them go up quite yet, we are going to see what both teams bring to the table. We've seen Kadena's ability to keep it on the other side of the field, keep it away from their own goal, and just overall play a crushing offensive game. So, what are we going to see out of this next one? Are we going to see something similar out of Guam and the Edrens? We've seen them play once before, and it was a very close game. Wasn't as close as some of the other games that we've had, though. So I believe it was Guam who ended out on top on that matchup. So have the Edrens found a way to maybe feel it out just a little bit more, feel how they can get the victory, and maybe just get a little bit more comfortable in the matchup?
Potentially, and I also think that maybe that side of Edren with the brothers, Ethan and Lucas coming in, they might be that determining factor. They might have put in some hours yesterday after their games and maybe locked in a few more strategies and opportunities that they can pull out against Guam today.
Yeah, he's got that brother Neuralink thing where they can just think what the other's thinking at every point in time. I'm not sure if they're twins or not, and that'll determine whether it's a superpower or not. But at the same time, it's definitely an advantage to have 2 players who know each other really well. And here's the Valorant side of the bracket here. We saw Yakota win in their semifinal round, but it looks like Humphreys is going to be joining them in the finals.
That is going to be the case. Still 2 games of the quarters left to be played, and we have yet to see who's going to come out on top there. And I'm curious to see how the rest of this bracket is going to be played out. And I think we are going to have to wait till after lunch to see those semis be played out. So once these quarters are done, it's going to be a break for a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be definitely something to see. These games have been super close so far. We haven't even reached semis yet for a lot of them. It'll be super interesting to see how stuff plays out and shakes around. It'll be interesting to see how strategies evolve.
Yep.
Because we saw it with the last round of Valorant we watched, how a lot of the players, when you swap from offense to defense, you kind of have to adjust your strategy on the fly a lot. And we saw players trading out the Odin back and forth. One player was able to save up, and I think it was the same Odin throughout all the rounds of overtime because it was always in the same spot, whether attacker or defender. And it just allowed for some more creative strategies to kind of be utilized and kind of surprise the other players with.
Yeah, I was actually not expecting that many Odins to come out in overtime. I was expecting more of just like a clean fight with like Vandals, Phantoms, maybe even a sniper here and there, maybe an operator. But with the Odin coming out a lot, it really eliminated the opportunity for players just to hide in corners and, you know, try to catch some players off guard.
Yeah, especially when you're in such a nerve-clenching round like the last few. That certainty that you need of being able to spray around a corner and more than likely finding a kill just by the sheer number of bullets you're throwing out there, that is something that is invaluable. And it's not really something you get with the assault rifles, with their incredible bloom when you're not standing still, and just the overall spread and arc of the bullets as well.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see Valorant later on. I mean, like we said, we still have a lot of games left to go and a lot of games yet to be decided. It'll be curious to see like what kind of strategies we're going to see later on in the semifinals, because like we said, they're going to get closer. But it'll also be interesting to see like what kind of maps and what kind of playstyles we're going to see come out.
Looks like we are going to be jumping into the final round of the semifinals for Rocket League. And it's going to be the Edrens versus Guam.
For the Edrens, you're going to have Lucas and Ethan, the brotherly duo with Bloopers and Garwini.
And then on the side of Guam, we have Jug and John, Lonely Ethan, and Braden Chill. hey, I'm just saying it.
No, that's true.
They put the extra letters. I mean, that's probably how they wanted it.
Probably. We did get to see Guam a few times within the last 2 days, but I feel like we've seen a lot of this Edren team and a lot of how dominant they can be.
Yeah, Edrens have put on a lot of spectacular performances. I don't think they've played Guam yet. I think they're one of the few teams that we didn't watch them play. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. Edrens tended to be a very dominant force in all of their games on both offense and defense. So we're going to have to see how they shake out up against this Guam team.
Indeed. I'll be curious to see what kind of strategies are going to come out from either team as well. See, you know, how offense and defense is going to battle between these two teams, and see who's going to be the one to be able to pile on more shots. Just getting ready to get into game one here between these two powerhouses, the last semifinal of Rocket League, before we go into the grand finals and determine who's going to take home the title of DoDEA Rocket League champion. And here we go with the first kickoff. It's going to go in favor of Guam. And Jug and John's going to send it towards net. Ethan sending it to the corner. Aiden just waiting. Ethan's going to take it up. Has some control. Maybe even a pass to the mid for Lucas. Not even going to get there. Aiden has to rotate fast. Jug and John getting a shot on net. It's going to be saved by Ethan. Edren already being put on the back foot right now.
Ooh, but Lonely Ethan is able to manage to find a way to put it in. I don't know if I could have added any more adjectives to what I just said there, but watch this. Lonely Ethan off the crossbar, drops down, and one goal in favor of Guam. Edrens have a little bit of a hill to climb if they want to put themselves back into this game. Ethan trying to find a way up, but Lonely Ethan is going to make it their way there. 2 Ethans in one lobby, wouldn't you know it? Aiden trying to play a little bit more goal-centered here. Ethan also trying to grab the ball away from Lonely Ethan, but Aiden's going to be there to stop the ball anytime it comes to that goal line.
Well, it certainly isn't a lot of Ethans, but it's weird that it happened twice. So now we have about 4 minutes to go here. Guam at a tentative 1-goal lead. Lonely Ethan and Braden Chill moving on in. Jug trying to look on, and he's not even going to need to follow up as Braden takes it in himself.
Man, what a shot out of Braden. That is 2 really good shots from the side of Guam that almost didn't look like they were going in. That one almost looked like it bounced off of one of the defenders, unfortunately. But still a lot of game left to play. We're not even 1 minute elapsed yet. Well, I mean, we are now. But at the same time, you have a ton of time to get yourself back into this game. Lucas showing just that with the save off the top rope. Braden Chill fighting Ethan for the ball here, but almost stolen by Lonely. Just a little bit of an overcommit. Jug and John able to take it right back to the center field. Lucas taking it away from his own goal. Jug and John and Braden Chill together taking that ball away, but no one's there to stop him. Ethan with the shot, but it doesn't quite go in. Ethan shooting again, but just off to the left. Nothing seems to be going in currently on the side of the Edrens. Lucas looking to make that change, though.
Ethan now moving off to the side with Jug and John looking to steal it away from him. Does manage to get it. Can he get a touch? Or Ethan going in, and he can. He gets the third goal for Guam. Now having a very steady lead, 3-0.
Yeah, that pass down from Jug and John from the top just made it so he could slide it right under the defenders who went up just a bit too far. Now, from the looks of things, Egrens are going to have to find a way to control this ball. We saw him get it onto the Guam side of the field several times in the last volley, but it's not even going to matter if Lonely Ethan just shoves it in. Out goes the hat trick, and what a long shot goal off the backboard and everything.
Well, things seem to be going from good to better now for Guam. This semifinal playing out is just as well as they could have hoped for. Ball off to the side, off the initial kickoff. Braden Cho, nice shot down, 5. All right, now, this is the moment I think where a team has the opportunity to either, end it in a respectable amount of time or completely showboat it. And we haven't been a stranger to that so far throughout this tournament.
Yeah, everybody wants to show what they can do, and unfortunately, some people don't take it that way. I mean, showboating's pretty good, but once you're 7, 8 goals up, I mean, fun kind of gets lost there. But Aiden is going to get the demo on Braden Chill. The goal is wide open. Can they follow up off the crossbar? Ethan just barely not able to find a way into it. Lucas taking the ball back around to his own backboard, trying to find an air dribble, trying to get it above the defenders, but Jug and John has just been right there this whole game, foiling his plans, and Braden Chill is not quite going to be able to get it back to the goal line. All Guam really has to do is play defense for another 2.5 minutes, as we have just reached the halfway point.
Jug and John gets possession, runs right into Lonely Ethan, however. Braden Chill, I mean, they're getting pressured up now as a shot goes out from Edren, and just barely a save from Lonely Ethan. Nice little recovery there. Now we have normal Ethan going up against Lonely Ethan. They both play a bit of ping pong between each other. Braden Chill goes in for the shot, misses it by just a millisecond.
Every millisecond counts in a game like Rocket League. That's just so fast. Braden Chill finding that out the hard way after getting demoed. Lonely Ethan trying to challenge Lucas, but with both very low on boost, not much can be done about it, but he's going to get the ball. Ethan going to keep it in the air away from him, but Lonely Ethan's going to be the one to get to that ball first. Braden Chill able to take that teed up ball and take it right back to the center. Aiden and Lucas now using that brotherly bond, but it's going to be taken away. Jug and John with the demo really fast and killing any offensive pressure that might have been there from the Egrens. Guam taking it right back over to that corner they like so much. Aiden able to play a bit of defense, ramping one of the offenders right off of him, and Ethan is going to pass it right back to that left side corner.
1 minute left to go in the proceedings. Guam sitting pretty at a 5-goal lead, just to make sure they don't get too ahead of themselves, or they can just add on to their lead, make it 6-0 as Lonely Ethan puts another on the board.
I will say it has taken him a lot longer to get that other goal than it has taken for a lot of the rest. Lucas just not in a great spot to take that ball back. Having your back to the ball in the goal is never a spot you want to be, because you can only decelerate so fast, especially in the air, pretty much relying on your flips and maybe even a flip reset if you're lucky and been in the air long enough. But Lucas is going to take the ball that was teed up right in the middle. Lucas might get a goal, and there we go. Egrens are on the board.
Well, it is certainly a long shot, but good for them for staying in until the very bitter end. They're going to have to get one probably off of the kickoff here. And I mean like right off the kickoff, not even allowing 2 seconds to pass. Any sort of possession that Guam can get like this right here is going to take that last little bit of chance they had away.
Lonely Ethan is going to go for another shot on goal, but misses just off to the right. Ethan with the ball now, trying to take it away, but Jug and John playing that center line is able to take it. Lucas almost with the shot on goal, but Lonely Ethan just above the goal line here. Trying to get back to the ball, maybe another shot on goal, but bumped by his teammate. No goals for Lonely Ethan, as Lucas is going to take it right up the wall. 7 seconds left and counting, and I feel like it's pretty safe to say that Guam has taken this round of Rocket League.
All done and dusted right there. Congratulations to Guam for getting even closer to getting to the grand finals. Guam, I mean, look at especially how far they were pushed up against Edren's goal. I mean, so many of the shots on goal came from just right in the goalie's zone.
Yeah, everything that was right there, it was teed up perfectly, and somebody just came in with a really good flip and was able to get it right past the defenders. And honestly, there's very little that you can do when somebody's right in your goal there. But what you can do is try to find ways to get around it. I saw a lot of bumps and demos coming out of the side of Guam, but not really followed up by the ones on the Edren side to try and make themselves some space. We saw it with that final goal that they scored to end out the round. But at the same time, those goals that Guam came, they just kept coming and coming and coming and didn't stop coming, bent to the rules, and they hit the ground running. But at the same time, you just can't really do much when you have such an insurmountable offense.
I'm not going to let you get away with that. I'm holding you. That's going in my debt ledger right now, my mental debt ledger that I have against you here for puns here, because that was. Oh boy, that was something.
What? I've only been here for like 6 months, and I've done how many song references when it comes to these
Too many
casting
is
deals?
the answer. Let's get down to game number 2 and see what we have got going on. Will Guam continue on this huge momentum train that they have built up for themselves already? They find themselves pressured up. Good start for Edren, but they're quickly gaining ground back. Jug and John now looking after this ball. Ethan trying to deflect it off into the corner. Let's see if Edren can regroup and find a good clear. Oh, dangerous here, and just a miss on that shot.
Oh, you should have seen Chuck and John in the goalie box trying to keep defenders occupied. Braden Chill with the shot, not quite able to find anything. Lucas also misses, but he's able to reach around back with a full tank of boost, bringing it right back to Guam's goal. Can anything be found out of it? Aiden and Ethan both low on boost. Aiden completely out. Ethan still has a shot chance. Lucas not able to find anything, but the goal goes through. Jug and John finding a way just above the goalie. Oh man, right off the side there, right above Ethan, just not quite enough height to get anything done. Into the kickoff here. Jug and John is going to take initial advantage, but with no boost, not really much you can do about it. Lucas is going to battle out with Lonely Ethan, who's going to end up winning. Aiden also vying for control, but Braden Chill is going to tee it up for Jug and John. Another goal for Guam, and only a little bit over a minute in.
Very nicely done. They're not stopping in any way whatsoever. It's been these great call-outs that they've had, this great communication as a team from when someone's setting it up and centering to when the final shot goes through. You can see the rotations are dialed in perfectly.
Ooh, Jug and John almost getting a good shot on goal, but I think there was a bit of miscommunication there with Braden Chill, not quite able to get the ball out, and a little bit of a bump on your teammates. Now with the quick rotation back to defense, Jug and John does get the ball back, but quickly retaken over by Lucas. But with no one really has any boost to work with on either side. You got Aiden and you got Lonely Ethan who have the boost left, but Ethan is going to take Jug and John out, making their offensive run just a little bit harder. Jug and John with the overcommit. Lonely Ethan trying to battle out. Ethan with the shot, but right off the side, nothing comes out of it. Lucas trying to keep the ball on offense, but nobody has any boost to follow him up. Him and Ethan trying to find a good way to get this ball out, but Jug and John with the shot, nothing out of it though. Lucas taking out the midfield, trying to go through. Braden Chill able to take it off the defensive side, right over to Ethan, who's not quite able to get it. He gets the nudge, but is not able to take them out of the air. Jug and John with the shot saved by Aiden, and now we are back on defense for the Edrens.
Jug and John. Braden Chill's not going to move in. It's just going to slow play it. Lonely Ethan doesn't really commit toward a shot on goal there, but Braden sure does. Almost is rewarded. Jug and John just goes in for the final cleanup and is rewarded handsomely with a hat trick.
Yeah, it seems like Jug and John is always in the perfect spot to capitalize on an overcommit. Whether he's on the side, in the middle, in the air, it feels like he's just always there, and that's kind of where he's been this entire round. All of the goals that they scored have been off of misplays from the Edrens. either a double commit that maybe didn't pan out, a little bit too little boost, but Braden Chill is going to get an early demo on Ethan. This could be the shot they need in order to get an offensive goal once again, but Lucas takes it away, and Braden Chill quick to take it back. Ethan with a full tank of boost is able to prevent it from going to the goal. Aiden back to his spot in the goal line. We've talked about how that is typically not the best spot to be, but they've been making it work a little bit so far. Ethan has managed to find himself a demo. They are up currently, and now this is the perfect opportunity to get it back to the center.
Not much past the center, however, as
no!
only Ethan almost scores on an open goal.
That could have been detrimental.
Oh, here it is, yep.
Missing the ball, though. They might not have gotten it off that first one, but any missed shot is going to result in either a Jug and John or a Braden Chill goal, and I think Edrens are starting to find that out the hard way.
Ooh, Nelly. Well, now we've got 1 minute 39 seconds left on the clock, and what seems to be a pretty airtight 4-0 lead from Guam. Edren managed to get one last and trying to get one there, but Lonely Ethan has a nice save. Ethan beats Lonely Ethan on the 50. But can they turn that into any sort of shot on goal? Pass to Lucas, but not aimed anywhere near the general vicinity of the goal. 1 minute 15 seconds left now. Lonely Ethan pass back to mid. Lucas into the corner.
Ooh,
Back over to Braden. Lucas, nice pop up, and doesn't quite find it, but I like the idea.
That was a good idea, popping it up above the defenders, just nobody quite there to reciprocate, or not at the right elevation anyway. Lucas is going to take that pop fly ball right to that left corner, but Braden Chill is also going to take it away. Aiden, with a little bit of help from Ethan, is going to get that ball out of the goal. Lonely Ethan keeping the pressure up with this ball going shot for shot. Lucas trying to get the ball away, and he manages to get it, but Lonely Ethan with a full tank of boost, he's going to get that easy. That's not something that he's going to let get away from him. 30 seconds remaining. Ethan with the shot back towards the goal on Guam. Aiden finding the demo onto Jug and John. Lonely Ethan almost with the goal, but Lucas not letting him get any more. All the defenders are juked. Nobody's at the goal, but Lonely Ethan finds a way to get back.
10 seconds left now. Guam looking to move on into game 3 with a very clean game 2, not allowing anything from Edren to go forward. And I think the main thing that I'm noticing that Edren is really going to have to change if they want to turn things around is they can clear. They've gotten a good amount of clears here and there, put it back to mid, but there is no follow-up from those clears from the other team. I think you saw in the very last time they went for a goal, you know, you had their main offensive person pushing up. They got it into their defensive third, was going up against all three members of Guam. But then you look back on the field, the other two players, one's still in the goal, and the other is off into the side with the corner. I mean, you cannot push up a field with just one person, expecting them to go up against the other team.
And it seemed like every single time they get the ball in front of the goals, nobody would be there to reciprocate. Even if it was completely open, they'd be a little bit too high, a little too low, or they just missed the shot entirely. And I feel like the follow-up is where Guam has just shown they are a little bit better. They can tee it up and they can knock it in really, really easily. But the thing is, Egrens really haven't been able to follow that practice. And it's like we were talking about earlier on, I believe it was in the quarterfinals, having those teammates in the goal can be good on defense, but at the same time, you're running a very high risk going a 2v3 on the offensive quarter.
Well, and it's a whole thing of you need to make up that goal deficit. Now's not the time to be defensively minded, because if you're defensively minded and the game basically stays at a stalemate where it is, you're already behind by 3. You're going to lose anyway, you know?
Yeah, going into it here, Aiden's going to get a bump on one of the offenders from Guam. It's going to allow Lucas to get up there, but Braden Chill is just right there to foil the plans. Once again, Lonely Ethan able to try and block it from regular Ethan, but Jug and John is going to be the one to end up almost clearing it, but here comes Ethan taking it almost in, but it stopped right before the goal by the post.
Lucas now ready to move up with Ethan. Oh, doesn't get a good touch on that one. Was trying to pinch it off the wall instead. Lonely Ethan has a breakaway toward the goal. Jug and John also following. Off the wall. It's going to be set up beautifully for the goal, but Ethan beats him to the punch. Nice little defense there. Now we'll see if they can find a clear before Guam puts one in the goal.
Lonely Ethan trying to find the ball once again, but it's going to be Braden Chill and Jug and John who are going to find the first goal of the match just under a minute in. But watch this. This is what Guam has been doing so good throughout the entire tournament. They just tee it up with one player and smack it in with another. And that's what Robert Edren needs to find a way to do. They got it cleared, but they just haven't found anything. Lucas trying to find a way to into this, but Braden Chill is going to take it away from him. Jug and John taking it up to the left side, and he can't find anything off that backboard. But here we go, looking a little bit into the Valorant game going on side by side in a Kadena versus Guam. And it looks like Kadena is going to be in a pretty substantial lead, but in a 1v2 scenario on attack, that's not where you want to be.
Assuming this game plays out the way the scoreline suggests, that means a lot more pressure is going to be placed onto the Guam Rocket League team, because they'll be the only representatives of their school left in the tournament. Of course, there was a Thrifty that just came out there, so the game isn't entirely over, but Guam looks definitely favored to win the Rocket League portion of the semifinals. Now we'll see if their Valorant squad can do the same.
It'll be interesting to see here. It'll be a Guam Kadena, and actually, it'll be this Valorant game in the finals for Rocket League. I just recognize that. That's kind of funny, but it'll all come down to if they can close out here on Rocket League. I got a good feeling that they're going to be able to, but we're going to have to wait and see. Kadena trying to make their way onto defense. They're going to have to keep staying in the pistol round, while Guam does have the significant gun advantage, not for very much longer, as Zentex manages to find one on Dom. The Cypher from the Guam team still lurking about, waiting for someone to be caught off guard, and he's gonna find Raze. Not very much fire is being traded back and forth, but Zentex is right behind him the entire time. Mad's unable to recreate the magic, and Guam is just falling left, right, and center. ZJT, the gamer, with the Marshall. Can he find a kill? No. Ovo Sound Radio is going to find himself the kill. 11-4.
Yeah, it seemed like whatever Thrifty there was last time, it might have just been a fluke, or, you know, sometimes these teams just impose a self-challenge on themselves, you know, call knife fight or call Thrifty round or whatever. But Kadena, I mean, the way that they recovered there so cleanly, things definitely lead me to believe that they're heavily favored to win this.
Yeah, we saw it in the last Valorant broadcast. That was actually, no, it wasn't the last one, it was the one before. There was a knife fight called out. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a tomfoolery and trickery with a flash, but Cerulean Knight finding an early pick on Dom, but Mad's quick to reciprocate. Ovo Sound Radio, a huge source of smokes with that Astra, is just gone. That's two potential smokes off the table for Kadena, but Cypher Cage still can go out and provide a lot of really good utility. Cerulean Knight looking for a way through. Paranoid goes out from the side of Guam from Mads. Nothing found with it, though.
Ooh. Nice pick by Zay.
Oh, but knocked out immediately by Yotek and ZJT the gamer. We are seeing kind of a replication of the last round. Or not the last round, but the round before. Guam finds himself once again in a 2-3 scenario.
All they got to do is just make sure they stall this out long enough and they can still win, even though they're down one. They're going to take some very safe positions. They've got some nice rifles to work with, but the other team does as well. And they are going to, this flank. They got to catch out this flank. No, they don't. Oh, that's the death sentence right there.
That is tough. He manages to find one, but gets taken out by the fellow Cypher. Kadena still proving that they're in this game. Guam still has to win 2. And while Kadena has to win significantly more than 2, it is possible. Shifting back to the Rocket League game here.
Oh, we got a game on our hands.
3. It looks like Braden Chill is going to find a goal, is not going to be able to find a save, and a goal goes out for Edren. Game 3 is shaping up to be a lot closer with less than a minute to go.
Yeah, this has actually gotten very competitive here as Lucas tries to get a pass back to center, doesn't have anyone to pass to. Lonely Ethan now ready as Jug and John shot up mid. It is slow though, they'll be able to answer it back.
We're going to have to take a break from that as Operator goes out. ZJT the Gamer finding one on Cerulean Knight, but quickly picked off himself. That is an Operator off the board for Kadena and a huge source of income. 60 Hertz rotating around with Cypher to pick it up, prevent that loss, but does get tagged by the Cypher drone. Operator does manage to get a shot off, but not before Ovo Sound Radio manages to take one of their own. Looks like Zentek's front with the Reyna, looking to rotate around, find another off guard. Dom has typically been the victim of these flanks. We're seeing if he can find a way to get around. Neurotheft does come out from Guam, and it looks like he is going to be taken out. Not by the Reyna this time on Guam, but by Ovo Sound Radio.
Thing is, though, they still haven't committed to planting. They got enough time, and now they'll move on in.
Moving on in, choosing to plant on the B site here, right in the middle. That's going to leave it really difficult for any defender. Even if you do kill everybody you think is on point, there could be a guy 100 yards away pointing his gun directly at the point.
This Astra's got to make sure they're watching the entrance route, and they have that. They got that at a right angle. Very well played. Finds it there.
1 second left.
And then 1 second left for the Rocket League. It is now, as long as that ball hits the ground without a goal being scored, we will see Guam win their semifinal matchup. They just can't get too ahead of themselves here, and they will.
Almost getting there too. But that game shaped out to be a lot closer than what we thought it would be at the very beginning. Ending up taking the third round, 2-3. You did still lose, but you didn't go down without a fight.
Yeah, that's a good way to go out there. Meanwhile, for Guam there, they've got a gun advantage here. They just got to make sure, I think what you were saying, the way that they lost was just not being aware of all their flank routes here. That's been their one main weakness. As long as they maintain that positional awareness on this field, then they should be looking good.
And with an Astra on the other team, it makes it incredibly difficult. Having those smokes come out from anywhere and having a lot more than what you would expect for someone with a lot of stuff in their kit, you wouldn't, it's just something that you always need to be aware of. Seeker does end up going out, same with the flash from Sky. The Molotov goes through and ZJT the Gamer can't take that angle, but 60 Hertz and Mads both finding their one. Cerulean Knight finding one with a showstopper, but it doesn't matter. Mads is on a rampage, and Din Tai Fung able to take out Thrash, taking out Mads. Can he close it out in the 1v3? Neon trying to find a way around, not quite willing to wrap around quite yet. Neon goes down though. Breach, can he find it? People closing in from both sides, and Dom is going to take the final kill. Kadena going up to 6. Guam's still at match point territory though.
They still are, and they have enough credits here that I think they can just run it all back via rifles. Huge investment from ZJT though, bringing out the op. I suppose they are in the mentality, and that is kind of a right mentality. They just got to go full on every single round from here on out. The best they can afford for 60 Hertz will be the Bulldog, however.
That's unfortunate, but I feel like people sleep on the Bulldog. Sure, it's not the best AR in the game. That's where you got your Phantoms and your Vandals. But the Bulldog is still a pretty respectable gun. It has the same fire rate as a lot of the SMGs, while still doing a lot of damage too. So as long as you're able to do some good stuff with it, you can deal a ton of damage, but out goes a lot of abilities on the Cypher, and he's taken down. Dom's able to find one on Cerulean Knight, but Din Tai Fung finds one, and Ovo Sound Radio finding another. Kadena down to 2 players, 2-4. The Operator didn't seem to be enough this round. 60 Hertz falling themselves. Breach with the concussion, and with that, Guam punches their ticket to the finals.
Well, there could be a chance that we see 2 Guams now here moving on to the finals.
Yeah, the double Guam final rounds here. And honestly, that was a great way to end it off, end off that round. I feel like that they were in the right mentality, or Kadena was in the right mentality the entire game, but at the same time, there just wasn't too much you could do in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, great way to end it out overall. If you're a Guam fan, definitely have a lot to look forward to after the break we got coming up.
Yeah, but speaking of the break, I think that's going to do it for this half. But stick around. We do have a few of what should be the best rounds of both Rocket League and Overwatch, I've been
Valorant.
I play too many video games for this.
Valorant, Kadena. Valorant, Kadena.
Yes,
we're gonna go over this over the break, okay?
Yes,
you and me. We're gonna drill this.
I don't know why I'm so Overwatch pilled. The game is dead. Marvel Rivals took it over, but we're not focusing on those two games anymore. It's gonna be Valorant and Rocket League after the break. Finals, and we can't wait to see you guys there.
We're with Liam after his 4th military move. When being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays when she misses home the most. Thanks to generous supporters, we're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. Thanks to your donations, we're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Monetary gain, I guess you could say, from their current predicament. The operator goes out middle. I'm mad in kind of a bad spot and just taken out immediately. That's a sentinel that you rotate past, but can Kumi find a kill here? Blades, Dagger Storm does go out. Nothing really found, but maybe one from the I don't know person. Really caught in a bad spot here, rotating, but it's not going to be found quite yet.
On a hunt mission here throughout the ropes. And
spot here rotating, but it's not going to be found quite yet.
It's on a hunt mission here throughout the ropes. And
double collateral.
Collateral with the op. That's really got to burn. And now Kinnick in a very dire situation that ends the round in tower, right in this smoke if he dares walk into it, or as soon as it wears out. There he goes, and nice quick adjustment by I'm Mad. Manages to put Kinnick in favorable position. Really tough now for this lone Sova to take things back or try to retake this point with an op.
He's finding one before he falls. Hunter's Fury comes out too. Doesn't find anything, but it does tag. Recon Bolt, unfortunately, finding its way into a wall instead of probably where they'd want it. The flanking Reyna is definitely an issue they need to solve, and they do. I'm Mad manages to get a kill on Pringles can, but Ice Reaper in and fade out. But at the same time, Egrens are now looking to use everything that they've been collecting, and same with Kinnick. Kinnick, I think, has a little bit worse ultimates going into this, but there goes one. I'm Mad, not going to be able to use his ultimate this round. Kumi finding 2, 3 with the knives, able to pick up 4. Clove trying to do something. Reaper, and now it's the lone Vise from I'm Mad to take this round back. Ooh.
Nice placement by Kinnick. They'll take one down. Spike sticking against them, however, not quite sure if they have the time.
But is Kumi going to see it? No, the breach still stands here, trying to get the Sova, but doesn't quite hit the shot. Lapsy is just too quick with his crosshair placement.
Trying to get the surprise on him with the buck. He finds it. Now just one left for Kinnick. Very close, made their way
to the other team and those other round robins. But right now it's going to be the other team sending one in for the Humphreys, getting the first one for the first goal in this second game.
Already off to a great start. Nice communication between Sen and other. Finding the first goal. Just
Cosmic, it's going to be shot on, and it's a great save by Jay. And that one's going to be sent out for just the moment. Kubi hanging on for dear life.
Other nice setup to himself. Plays over two more, and he'll find himself a hat trick. 3 minutes, 37 seconds left. No one shot on goal for Kubasaki.
And with 3 goals up and 3 minutes left, they're just looking to buy time here and let it go. But maybe a double tap out of the other team. Still a little wide. Jay trying to send it out. Maybe a save out of Nivi, but just not enough boost to reach it in time. Battle for the corner, but still got a shot on and win a save out of Mr. Mixity, sending it to the other side of the field. Sen has to race back with only a few pads to his name. The team taking it off his head and sending it to the midfield. Maybe a pass to a teammate. He's going to lead for a demo, and Nivi Jig having to jump and off the post. Cosmic with the follow-up. All 3 players being utilized on that play, and Humphreys. It is a matter of time. Pressure not letting up for the side of Humphreys, but maybe an opportunity here. Mr. Mixity sending it down only as far as the midfield. The other team chasing this one to the corner, trying to pop it mid for a teammate. No one's going to be there. Jay sending one out. That one's going to float towards net. Sen trying to get it on target, and instead, Cosmic's closing in on the final minute of game 2.
A little over a minute to go before we close things out. Next kickoff, Mr. Mix has an opening, and he'll score one on the goal. Nice little fake out there. At least get Kubasaki come back.
Potentially an opportunity. Indeed, Kubasaki getting an offense here. Mr. Mixity taking it into the corner. It's going to float towards mid. Jay not able to read this one, and Nivi has to make the save, and they do. And a great save at that. Followed by Cosmic is going to be in. And with a minute gone, 2 goals already in from.
And it's only going to be Pilsner who puts a stop to his streak.
And it was only Mark on that A site covering it, able to get 3, but Clove still able to get the plant off. Now left with the 2v2. Samurai Mac gets that one. It's going to be trade now. Killjoy versus Sova.
The Yakota Panthers, and now set up some post-plant angles.
You got 2 coming in from heaven. Got Clove on site. Oh, they got the Sova. You have to be careful of the Jet. Ooh, firefight. Jet's gonna win that one. Alyssa's dad now in a 1v2 situation against Clove and Killjoy. Gets the
where Kubasaki is also up there in heaven. Pilsner lands it. He's been really good with these shock darts too. Samurai gets hit with the alarm bot. Goes into, just wasn't checking anything. And gives his position away. That'll be a tragic end to that. Although, they don't have time to go across. They got to go on to A right now, and already they lose 1. They lose 2. It's traded back.
10 seconds
They
left.
still have an outside chance of this if they can take out Mark here. He's down to 1 health on the DK. Hunter's Fury as well brings it back in favor for Yakota.
great use of the Cypher wall to grab the spike and get out of there. Now down to Clove and Cypher. We're closing in on 10 seconds left. They need to rush this side. They need to get this point. But they're just not going to have any abilities coming out. A lot of smokes. Ooh, and there's one on this Neon from Liam. Trying to turn the corner, getting Cypher as well. Now down to 3. Able to regain sight and also able to buy some time.
Swarm grenade up. Found them. Found them.
Me wondering, hang behind this. They'll force the orbital strike out from Yakota. Doesn't get anybody, so that's a good ultimate to burn off the board.
Spike planted.
And now gets the spike down and move on into post plant. Down 1, but still winnable.
Very winnable.
Oh, yet a double. We're back to a 2-3 stat line. We've seen this particular stat line a lot in the past few rounds. Kubasaki gets the plant, but still down 2-3. Not dead yet to keep him at 2. Lands the shot and will get the res off of it as well.
1v1.
One enemy remaining.
Damage.
Enemy down.
Mai getting one, trying to look for another one. She has to look for the KJ right there. She's gonna get it. All that's left is Gecko, Mark, trying to cover this site. And he's gonna land it.
Slow but steady progress up toward the main archway. That Cypher is looking through it though with the camera, throws out the dart, gets hit with the dizzy.
Caught one, found you.
One enemy
Fire
remaining.
Fiend picking up, doing work, getting the triple. And now just one left.
Like we said, we're gonna have to look back at that Rocket League game later because we're still pretty much almost tied here in this game. Yakota looking to go towards B site. Have to be careful. Killjoy on site is gonna be able to get 2.
Oh
Getting
my
a third,
goodness,
almost.
my.
Getting a full. Oh, they're gonna see Jet right there. And that's when everybody knows, hey, we need to rotate. We need to go to A site. That's where they're going. Alyssa's dad able to get the plant off. And now it's gonna be a gun battle 3v3. There's a 2 down for Yakota. Killjoy, all that's left. Dizzy goes out and Gecko.
Nice little flick and gets the headshot very quickly, keeping Kubasaki's hopes alive.
Swarm grenade out.
Mai trying to reposition as Spike goes down. Nice pickup from Heaven, but it's all up to Mai. And they're being flanked right now. Lands that. Now we're down to 1-1. Huge round for either team to win. Their Spike holder is trying to push B. So a bit of a split push here, but it's a good fake out because it's caused all of Kubasaki to rotate on over toward A. And you know what? It is a diversion, but it might be just what makes him win it. Because they just might, before the spike's even planted, take them all out. They've already got one, that lunatic down. One Sentinel down, one to go for Kubasaki.
Have one of these.
Fire Fiend drops on down to ground level and manages to pick up 2 with the spray. Will use the not dead yet. Oh, almost caught Mark off guard, but Mark still manages to find it.
One enemy remaining.
Marble strike available. Oh, beats him out. That speediness of the Neon, able to outrun that gunfire. Has taken that orbital strike off the table.
Last player standing.
Mark manages to take out the Neon though.
It looks like they're going to have to make a play here.
Make a play or just take the round loss with 3 seconds left. That's going to be ultimately what's going to happen. Now they're just going to try and stay alive for 6 more seconds. They're going to get one for the
but they're
road.
gonna get
Maybe getting
one.
Pilsner.
Oh,
No,
not quite 2
No, but that will be the round.
to drop, and it looks like Fish is Welcome back to the DoDEA studio, and we are now finally back from our break, and we are ready to jump right back in to the semifinals of Valorant, followed up by the long-awaited grand finals. We've been waiting 3 days, or almost 3 days, for this grand event. And I don't know about you, Danner, but I am incredibly excited to watch how it all unfolds.
I can't wait to get into it. I mean, we got 2 grand finals and a couple of semis to get through, but I mean, with all of these matches underway, I mean, it's all going to come down to it, and all of these teams have to play at their best over the entirety of this weekend.
Yeah, and for the Valorant players, they're not quite there yet. We already know who we have as our top 2 for Rocket League, those being Zama and Guam, and we're going to be checking in on them a little bit.
Guam and Humphreys.
Oh, wait, what?
Guam and Humphreys for Rocket League.
Oh, no, didn't Humphreys play Guam already? Yeah, they did. It was Zama and Guam. Humphreys was beaten by Guam to go into the final. Yeah, here we have the
There it is.
final. Here we have the final rounds for Rocket League, and it's actually Kadena and Guam, and not Zama, like I thought.
Well, we were both proven wrong, but regardless, production proving us right. It is Kadena versus Guam, the 1 and 3 seed going into this, now in the grand finals.
Yeah, and here we go into the first round of our grand finals for Rocket League. This is going to shape out to be an incredible game. And remember, this is no longer a best of 5. This has been upped to a best of 7. And while in the rest of our stages we only saw 1 fifth map, we should be able to see at least a few more rounds go back and forth. These are the 2 best teams in their respective brackets after all.
These are the 2 best teams out of the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Out of all 10 teams that have competed over the last 2 days in round robin and today, these are the 2 that are going to come out on top and that are going to play in this last best of 7. First one to 4 wins is going to take it, and I'm curious to see how far we're going to get.
It'll be interesting to see, but we gotta wait for kickoff, and here it goes. Weth able to beat everybody else to the punch for Kadena, and getting an early shot on goal that bounces in. Weth setting an early precedence that they are not playing anymore. This is 100% serious.
Oh, what a dunk out of Weth. Jug and John actually got the save, but it was just the follow-up through Weth, and he gets the first goal for Kadena. Going on to the next kickoff, though. It's going to be fairly even to commit. Braden sending it down. It's going to float towards the net. Weth getting a good save out into the corner. Jug and John's going to dive in on that one. It's going to bounce off the backboard, and up goes Braden again. 50'd by Weth. Right now, King is going to be able to take it for just the moment. Lonely with a good 50. It's going to be sent out by New Soup, and Kadena.
Ooh, right next to the goal here.
Weth
Weth
to try, but it's going to be a mistouch by Weth, and King has to race back. No boost, and he misses the corner. This could be huge. He's got to try and get back to this, and nobody from Guam is able to reach it just in time. Now encroaching on a minute through this game already. Kadena already up by 1.
Lonely Ethan with the demo to disrupt it, and King Kaiser almost scoring on himself, but managing to get it in front of that goal. That is a dangerous rotation, especially with Jug and John right there, who could have taken that shot, but a little bit low on boost is what allowed them to take that out. King Kaiser going to steal that 100 from the Guam offense, meaning their plays are fairly limited until they're able to get that boost back up. Weth and King Kaiser both trying to get the ball cleared over, and they do. We are now in Guam's side of the field. Guam and Kadena both playing very, very similarly here. Weth with the shot blocked by Braden Chill. What a block out of Braden. Just barely able to get up there and keep it away from the Kadena offense and keep them from going 2-0. They need to find something here to even it out as we have almost reached the 3-minute mark.
Guam, they've been doing a great job in defense, making sure to get these balls out, and Jug and John even faster than him. King has to race back. He has a full ticket boost, and he's able to control it into the corner. Braden commits, but then he has to back off. Just to let his teammates rotate out, and King is able to collect this one and take it to the opposite side. New Soup taking that away from him. He's the one that had the higher amount of boost there. Totals, Jug and John pinching it off the sidewall the best he can. Weth getting beat 1. Braden able to go around him, and now New Soup. It's just a back and forth on this side. Nobody's able to get it towards the midfield, and right now King is going to change that precedent. Jug trying to control, but New Soup cutting that off fairly quickly. It was a really good job. Demo on the back end might be an opportunity for Guam. It's going to float towards that. Follow up out of Lonely. It's not going to go into Jug and John.
Jug and John. Oh, what a commit out of Guam. A demo that started off And I think every member of Guam touched that ball before going in. Man, this is shaping up to be a great series here. And you can tell how serious it is. All of the funny skins, all of the custom colors, all of them have been traded out for basic colors. But Braden Chill taking advantage of the low boost from Guam, or not from Guam, from Kadena, and just making an easy goal. What a shot.
What an opening, and halfway through, Guam, within 10 seconds, are going to take the lead, going from down 1 to up 1. Right now, they're looking to take that even further. Lonely Ethan popping one towards net, maybe even a follow-up from himself. It's going to get blocked out by King, and Braden has to race back. Has to try not to get beat out by King, and he doesn't.
With the ball, is that going
floating?
in? Oh, he just
Not
missed
quite.
it barely. King Kaiser with a full tank of boost, though. Triple commit off the defenders. No one's quite there to back him up, though. Weth has the ball now. Bounces off the side. New suit. Blocked once again by Braden Chill. 2 saves within just a few seconds of each other. Weth gets the full boost, but has to back off. Not very much he can do from that angle. Lonely Ethan trying to take the ball away, but a shot on goal from Weth. And a save from Braden Chill once again. Weth trying to take it up in front of the ball. It's just going to go right over the top, right above the crossbar, and New Soup is going to be there to keep it in that corner. They have been mounting on the pressure, but they need to find a goal here, keep themselves tied up in this game. King Kaiser playing towards the midfield. Weth just not quite able to get it low enough for him, but New Soup keeping it on that side of the field. Nothing quite going on, though. Braden Chill taking the ball back up. New Soup does get a demo. That's one less player for the defense. Him and Weth trying to take this ball back through midfield, but Jug and John is back with a vengeance. Not quite able to get him with the boost he had. Lonely Ethan is going to end up taking this ball, and New Soup gets demoed by Jug and John. And Weth taking the ball away. New Soup, 1 minute remaining. He's got a little bit of time to take this away. So much of this game has been played on Guam's side, but nothing's been able to be done about it. King Kaiser taking the ball once again, and just nobody's back there to back him up. Wait! This one might be open. Whoa! Did you see that? He spiked the ball into the net. He just comes in, shoots it down, and says, "We're not going out sad first round." 2-2, 45 seconds left on the clock.
45 seconds, and a big moment for Weth. Getting that equalizer goal. Now he has to control, get a good flick over one, try to get a bump. No. Braden's going to take it into the corner where Lonely awaits. It can only go as far as King, waiting on the backboard. Great job in defense. Weth has to make the save. Instead, it's going to be New Soup. King sending it down to the other side of the field. Jug and John sending it to the corner. Maybe King gets a follow in here instead of 50 with Lonely Ethan. Jug and John sending it to the mid. Weth goes and sends it to the corner. I mean, we're just seeing how strong these two teams are. Now down to the last 20 seconds of this game, and a potential overtime looming on the horizon. Proving why we need a best of 7 for these two, because of how close it is going to be.
King Kaiser with a shot off to the left. Weth manages to find the demo on Lonely Ethan. 4 seconds left on the clock. This will bring us to overtime if that ball hits the ground, and it does. Not the first, but definitely not the first of this series, or not the first of this tournament. But the first of this series for sure. Lonely Ethan manages to get the ball first, taking it out of that corner there. King Kaiser taking the ball, pinching it right towards the center. Met by Jug and John, but not a lot of velocity on that ball there. King Kaiser going to bounce it off the wall, looking for somebody else to follow up. But New Soup is going to be able to take it back towards that middle and keep it away from their goal.
Right now, we're approaching that 30-minute mark. Braden with a great 50. He's going to try and keep it in the corner. He's going to. It's going to float for just a minute. Lonely Ethan going for a shot. Great save out of New Soup. And Jug and John's going to go fast into the corner. Weth able to get a 50 there. It's going to bounce. Someone's got to go. It's going to be King and Weth double committing on that one. Braden's going to get around to all of them, but nobody's able to get there for the side of Guam, and it's going to stay out of their net for just a moment longer. Approaching a minute now. Kadena are going to go. There might be an open on the other end.
The goal's open. Kadena, with just under a minute in overtime, takes round 1. Round 1 of 4 needed to win, going to Kadena. Wow. What a round to start off the grand finals.
I was not expecting an overtime.
I wasn't either, especially on round one. Round one's the round where you sort of assess your opponent and figure out what their whole game plan is. But this round turned to be a back and forth slug. Seeing a little bit of the shot map before it ended up going away, we saw that everybody was super even. This was one of the few games where shot, boost count, and ball control were all around 50-50. And that is what we want to see out of the two best players in this tournament.
It is what we want to see, and I think going forward, we're really going to see the adaptation come out from both of these teams, how they're going to adapt to these different play styles, how they're going to change their offense or defense accordingly, and see what they can implement into their play styles to put themselves ahead.
Well, we'll have to see going into round two. Guam currently losing by 1, but that does not count them out quite yet. 3 more rounds to victory for Kadena, but Guam is not out of the race. They have proven that they have been able to stay within range of Kadena. Both of these schools have easily shown themselves to be the best throughout the round-robin rounds, throughout just about all the rounds they played in. They have barely had any close games, so seeing it now, this is going to be a game to remember. And if it keeps going like round one, it truly is anyone's game. Weth is going to win the 50-50, but Braden Chill is quick to center it, and so was Lonely Ethan, bringing an early offense for Guam.
He's going to be banged into the corner. Lonely, he's going to opt to rotate far. No boost. He's going to get beat out by Nusu. Braden with a great save. Should be able to follow up on this one, and King's going to miss that one, so now it's going to be a counterattack offense for Guam. Chug taking it slow, trying to get over Weth, and he's going to, for the moment, and maybe just one last 50. Weth has to race back now, just to make sure that he doesn't get beat out, and it's going to be a shot.
Oh, a double commit!
Oh, what a save out of Weth.
Ooh, he and King Kaiser just trying to get the ball out of that corner, but the goal once again barely misses wide. This has been some great offense out of Jug and John, but just not quite able to get it in. But the bump from his teammate, Lonely Ethan, sneaks it in, bringing an early lead for Guam.
That was huge. The double bump to just clear the goal line of any suspecting player that could have saved that shot, solidifying Guam's first goal of the second game. Now going on to kickoff though. They're going to take control. They're going to air dribble it to the other side of the field. It's going to lob
how's
towards
it going?
net. There's going to be a double tap for Jug.
Taking another goal too, expanding the lead to 2-0. But if Kadena taught us anything about last round, a 2-0 lead is not enough when you're in this position. You need at least 3 or 4. But in the end, I don't think Kadena is going to let that happen. They have the skills to pay the bills, if you will. But at the same time, nobody's on the goal there. Shot from Kadena. King Kaiser looking to even it out. Not quite in, but a second one goes through. King Kaiser, second time's the charm, 1-2.
Way to just lurk there, gets the initial touch, and let's go right back to him. Way to use that last flip, putting it top right corner. You're going to cut that lead in half and put yourselves in a better position to try and tie this game. Only barely over a minute into this game, and once again, we're seeing repeats of what happened in the first game.
Lonely Ethan, Braden Chill, both trying to go up for this ball, but not quite able to get it past Kadena, but back up to Braden Chill. Not quite the angle you probably would have wanted there, but Weth is able to get back on defense and maybe save that ball. That was going in. Lonely Ethan with a great shot on goal, just unfortunately didn't quite make it there. Another great save out of Kadena. Jug and John looking to bounce it off the backboard. Not happening this time around. New Soup with the bicycle save, and looks like he's going to be playing inside of the goal, trying to get this ball. He is able to get it, but King Kaiser takes it away, but it doesn't matter. Braden Chill ending up with the goal. But 1,
What a save.
2, 3 commits out of Guam to get 1 goal.
1 goal, but that could be the goal to secure them this game. Now each player has a goal to their name. Oh, what immaculate defense Kadena is putting through right now. But with 3 minutes left and only 2 goals needed, there's a lot of time to make this change. And right now, it's going to be Weth sending one towards net off the crossbar. Follow-up still going to be high. Maybe a follow-up out of New Soup. Not quite. King only able to make a 50. Who's going to be there first? And it's going to be Weth. But it is back and forth right now, closing in on the halfway mark of this game.
New Soup kind of playing a little bit more defensively here. King Kaiser is able to take the ball away from Guam. That stops the potential offense. Lonely Ethan's going to slip it right past him, though, but another shot on goal. It's not going to go through Braden Chill. Weth is going to have to work a little bit harder than that, but he's going to take out that anger on Lonely Ethan. But the ball is going to go past mid. King Kaiser with it now, trying to take it back to the goal. Only one person on defense now. Nobody in the goal. King Kaiser bringing this game just that little bit closer.
And what great control. Flicks it over the last defender. And then you can see they're just trying to race back. But there's not enough time before that ball is going to roll in and bring it back to a 1-goal game. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock going into the next kickoff. And it's going to favor Kadena. That's what they want.
Off the wall, off the defender, barely off the post. That was dangerous to be in. King Kaiser taking this ball back to the corner, but Lonely Ethan quick to stop. Weth trying to hunt down this ball, but nothing quite is coming out of it. Juggin John, though, with the shot on goal, blocked by New Soup. He's just been on defense this entire time, in the right spot at the right moment. Gonna take this ball back, trying to get it back over the midfield. King Kaiser not able to get to this ball, but it doesn't matter. Weth demoing Juggin John, and there is no more offensive pressure from Guam. They need to figure out a way to get this back over to Kadena's side, but Juggin John right there once again trying to get this ball and keep it on Kadena's side of the court, but it is going to be really careful with New Soup. King Kaiser not quite able to get there, but New Soup does get demoed in the process.
Kind of trying to control there by Braden. New Soup's going to be able to take it into the corner. Might pop mid.
Oh!
It's going to roll off the post and bounce out. Another follow-up shot. Not going to go in. Braden able to take it out. He's going to grab that mid boost. And Lonely is going to support him in the second man. It's going to be a shot on. It's a great save by New Soup. Off the sidewall now. Lonely Ethan taking it up. He's going to try and air dribble and beat, but with a great 50. Braden's going to try and turn on this and make the 50 with New Soup. New Soup actually has a great opportunity to stick with this.
He gets demoed.
He does, and Lonely able to get it clear out. And great save out of Braden. Closing in on less than a minute left. Kadena, they need one more goal, and they're running out of time.
Kadena's running out of time, and they're running out of manpower if these demos keep coming through. King Kaiser trying to keep this ball on the Guam side of the field, but with 30 seconds left, he's got to step up the game, step up the tempo just a little bit more. Weth in the corner trying to take it out, but now it's going to roll in. Braden Chill finding a goal from the corner, taking this 2 rounds ahead and mounting even more pressure on the side of Kadena.
Wow. What an angle from the corner. Worked out perfectly and rolled on in across that goal line. 22 seconds left, 4-2 lead. Guam looking to tie the series and now bringing it back to best of 5 fashion. It's going to be kind of what we're used to now, but we're still not seeing who's the better team right now. It's fairly even across the board.
Wait, Weth with the demo. King Kaiser almost getting the shot if they can get this before 1 second. But it does look like this game ultimately is going to Guam, leaving us 1-1 in the series.
1-1, and once again, we're seeing those stats come out. Almost 50% across the board, just showing once again how close these teams are. No overtime, though. It's just a straight 4-2 scoreline. Guam really pulling out ahead.
A few really good shots out the side of Guam. Just stuff that you would never really expect from anyone. Those side shots are incredibly hard to manage as a defender. No matter where you are, it seems like that ball is going anywhere on the net possible. It's really hard to predict those, and I feel like that's how Guam is going to end up beating Kadena. Their defense is incredibly solid, but if you don't know where the ball is going to go, how is the defender?
That is true. If you don't know, they don't know, and at the end of the day, it's just the ball's floating across the field. Right now, we got to get into Game 3, see who's going to take the lead in this series. Down to a best-of-5 fashion. Each team needing 3 more wins to crown themselves DoDEA Rocket League champions.
And best-of-7s are just as much of a endurance match as they are a game of esports too. That is potentially seven 5-minute rounds. That adds up to 35 minutes of pretty much straight Rocket League time. That's your brain always being active. objective and wanting to keep the momentum is what is going to allow these players to keep going good, but they also risk their own mental too. They lose it and they lose this game. Weth going to try and get a clear over the midfield, not quite being able to make it, but with a little help from New Soup, he's able to get it there. Lonely Ethan tossed to Weth, but 3 players from both teams pushed up against the ball. King Kaiser with a shot, bounces off the crossbar. New Soup barely misses over, and King Kaiser isn't able to get it past Jug and John, taking it to their corner.
Oh, kind of a dunk pass there. Braden Chill getting around a few of them. King has to race back into this corner, trying to control, but instead he's going to be beat up by Lonely Ethan. Ethan's going to go up again, and so is Jug. He's going to pinch down. Braden on the backboard, trying to send one towards mid, and it's going to be shot on, but just high by Jug.
Just barely off the crossbar, too. That looked like it was going in, and Lonely Ethan barely misses the ball going over, but Braden Chill is going to get a good shot back, trying to get back to this ball to dunk it in, but Jug and John off the crossbar once again. King Kaiser once again taking this ball, and no one's on defense, and with the power of friendship, Kadena manages to score the first goal of this round.
That should have been Guam's goal, but they hit the crossbar just too many times. And Kadena, they're going to capitalize. They're going to get the first goal of this game over a minute into it.
Ball ends up rolling off into the backside of Kadena's field. New Soup ends up taking the ball back, but not as much boost as he probably would like. He's able to clear it over the midfield, fighting Lonely Ethan for the ball. Lonely Ethan is able to get it, but New Soup with the 100 boost sets it up, but nobody has the boost to get to where they need to be. Weth is currently the only one on defense. King Kaiser rushing back, and now Weth has control of the ball.
Only for the moment. Braden getting a pot shot towards net. It's going to be towards the corner. Jug getting a great 50. It's going to float down for King. Maybe a pass up to New Soup. Instead, Lonely Ethan's going to cut that one off. No read there, and King lobbing it down the other end of the field. Off the off target, but maybe followed by Weth. It's going to be saved with the effort of 2 defenders. Now King to the backboard. He's going to look for a double tap. Instead, Braden's going to cut that one out. Jug trying to beat the last defender, New Soup. Just waiting. Weth with 0 boost is only able to get it to the corner with a bang. It's kind of back and forth right now. Weth also getting 2 demos on the play, opening up the net and looking for a dunk as well. Great play. It's going to pinch up. No one's going to be able to be there. Jug, though, sending it to that Kadena half. Maybe a shot opportunity. He's sent to the wayside, and Guam are still searching for their first goal.
Significantly less shots on the goal from Guam after Kadena's first goal here. They just got that pressure, and now they're not going to let up one bit. Weth able to push it right over that midfield line, but Braden Chill volleying it right back. New Soup trying to play a bit of defense, helped out by King Kaiser, but Braden Chill still is trying to put that pressure on. Weth almost getting Jug and John, but just not quite enough speed to get to him. Lonely Ethan doesn't get the ball. No one's on goal. What a shot out of New Soup.
What even happened?
What? So he does that.
Ricocheted.
It ricochets off his
goal. Not intentional, but from the opposite corner of the field. That's not what Guam was looking for, especially when they were the ones attacking. Now approaching 2 minutes left in this game. Kadena up by 2, and Guam trailing.
I'm honestly lost for words after that one. That was as close to a snipe that you can get in a soccer game as you could get. King Kaiser and Weth both playing defense. New Soup once again in the midfield battling for control. Ends up losing it to Braden Chill, but he's right back where he needs to be. King Kaiser unable to find that 100 boost. Braden Chill steals it from him. Jug and John, though, with the ball isn't going to leave them open with a 0. Weth trying to take this ball back to the midfield, but King Kaiser on full boost is going to be the one to take it over. Braden Chill does get the bump, and it's not going to go where he wants it to. But New Soup with the shot. It almost goes in. The save. Someone be there. Jug and John, but Weth ends up finishing it off. 3-0 from Kadena.
Oh, what a save out of Jug. Braden trying his best to get there and clear it out of the net, but he misses, and Weth is the one to come in and be cleanup crew.
Oh, that one looked like it was going out too, and then to be punched back in. Braden Chill clearing it towards the midfield, and New Soup with his hat trick, with his first hat trick of the match, And
Anybody's first hat trick.
Oh yeah, the first hat trick of the match. It means even more now. But what happened to the defense there? Just seemed like a really good shot off of the kickoff.
Just chaos after the kickoff. Everybody's trying to get boosted, and everybody's trying to orient themselves for whatever play is going to be coming their way. And Guam, they're just letting it run away from them. This one might be another opportunity, except for Braden gets there first. He's taking control. He grabs that corner boost as well, but only gets as far as King, and another great 50 coming out of him. Braden taking it to the sidewall. Great clear. New Soup should be able to clear this one. Indeed he does, and Kadena with 47 seconds and counting are looking to take this one in dominant fashion. The most dominant game we have seen so far.
Of the match. Nah, definitely not the most that we've seen in this tournament as a whole.
And I'm strictly talking about the game
for
here.
this one, this has got to bring a lot of stuff into question. Both of these teams seemed really even in the last round, and I feel like Guam just didn't quite have the advantage when it came to the pressure. New Soup and Weth both kind of set the tempo along with King Kaiser, and the Guam defense and offense really wasn't able to match their tempo, and that's what's going to allow Kadena to take their second round of this